Bing! Hello, everybody. Welcome along to today's episode. This is Star Trek Cuchulain, episode 6. So the difference for today is we are playing with... So Beta Shift are our alternate team, and it's in such a way that we can give Alpha Shift a break for times when everyone's busy. So what we're going to try and do is keep everyone going with... alternating between the two teams. So it's kind of like an episode where we have an away team on the planet, and we've been dealing with their story for the last 5 episodes. So for this one, we're going to jump up and we're going to be on the ship, on the Cuchulain, which is in orbit. So hello to everybody who's watching on Facebook, and hello to everybody who is watching out there on YouTube's. If you wouldn't mind actually jumping in the comments there and let us know which medium you're using, because we're actually at a point now where we're very interested in who's watching from what platform, especially live, because I noticed that we do get a decent amount of views on YouTube later, and one commenter did say that they actually use it like a podcast going around the house. So hello to PJ for listening around the house while they're working. So behind the scenes, we have, I have them in backstage, is Beta Shift. Now, before I activate Beta Shift, I'm going to, there we go. I'm just putting up I'm just going to put up my iPad so I can actually see the stream going and see everyone's comments, because sometimes, like this, I believe, is Vanessa Fagan. However, Vanessa has not given permission to StreamYard to see who she is. So that's what happens. She comes up as Facebook user. So for us to know who is commenting, we tend to have to run an iPad or something to the side. So that's what I'm up to. And it's now doing a funny thing where it's very confused with the auto-generated comments for the deaf. Which is brilliant. Right, so backstage we have Major Pain in the Anne Grace.
Beta Shift.
So Anne is trying her best to hide her background and use a green screen, but it's like she's been futzing around with the interphasic generator for some reason. So she's not she's slightly out of phase. We have Jerry. Welcome along, Jerry. We got Jerry from Beta Shift. We got Zap, and we've got Andrew. So welcome along. This is Beta Shift. Okay, so
where's the hands, Pat? Where's the hands? Yeah.
Where's the hands?
Talk to the hands.
Beta Shift.
Beta Shift.
Oh, my combat just hanging heavy on this uniform. I decided to wear my Kozer Mart Next Generation top today, so it's pretty. It's the best Next Generation top that's affordable, I think, because there's so many out there that don't, and so many used to use that never had the black under the arms bit either. I remember having an older one. So swipe to the left to do. There we go. All right, so don't you sarcastic Vulcan salute me, says Robbie from the planet's surface.
Guess who's walking home?
Yeah, go eat a spider, Robbie.
Guess who's not getting a rescue?
Guess who's walking home?
Go eat a spider.
Vanessa's coming in via YouTube. That's great. And Nikki's coming in through YouTube as well. So that's brilliant. Glad to have you aboard in the comments, guys. Seeing Beta Shift's first official StreamYard run out. And here, we've got got Alpha Shift watching to see how you go. Hey guys, great to see Beta Shift. Now be sure to follow your episodes.
Frank. Yeah. It's done, Frank.
Yeah. This is it.
It's done, Frank.
As good as it gets.
So, just to recap, how many times have you guys blown up the Cuchulain?
0. 0.
What's blowing up?
Right. So
we do the ships all the time.
The Nightingale was blown up, but the Cuchulain survived.
Yes,
Yes.
we slightly
And
damage her, we may
Wow.
cinch her, but we don't blow her up.
Yeah. You did lose a Nova class starship though. You did lose a sister ship, didn't you?
Wasn't the Cuchulain.
It was pre-destroyed anyway.
Yes.
It was a write-off.
It was in bits already. The poor USS Nightingale. So, starting from the top, just give us a rundown as an introduction, Anne. Just a brief introduction to yourself, your character, your role, and a little bit of a log entry for what you remember from your previous adventure, which wasn't streamed, but you guys did do a 7-hour epic session. So give us a rundown on that, will you?
Okay, I'm Major Auntie Grace. I am Beta Ship's finest. Literally make all the messes and run away. And last one was it was amazing getting the emergency beam out. Was fantastic. Right at the last second, right before she blew up, and having the ship come in, just dive in, take us out of there, and then watch the fireworks.
Do you remember anything of the setup of that particular mission? What was the mission breakdown? Because that was the last moments, which were pretty exciting, especially for Pat and Antoinette, who may actually join us today to give us a handout with all the characters.
Yeah. No, that was a wonderful mission into the neutral zone, where we had to go and try and rescue the Nightingale. Save the crew, definitely. That was the main priority, saving the Starfleet crew, preventing the technology falling into the Romulan hands, which we did do. And also trying to prevent an escalation of the hostilities in the sector, which we may have kind of fudged a little bit, but we did succeed. They just went home with a bloody nose.
Yes. So Jerry, so tell us a little bit about your role on the Cuchulain, and give us your log entry for the previous mission that you remember.
Yeah, well, I think the last entry or
who are you first? Let us know who you are on the Cuchulain.
So I'm the commander of the shift, and I also look after engineering. I'm originally from Mars Colony and joined Starfleet, and this is my third posting. And I've also been posted for Starfleet Intelligence. I see my function as working with the best team on the ship, and that goes without saying. Captain and Alan Riochet will probably demote me now for this, but I don't care. Beta Ship rock, Beta Ship rule. It's an honor to serve with them. The last mission, even though I wasn't available for the last few hours of the last mission, I left the 3 team members fully in charge of the situation. Pat and Anne and Zap performed exemplary. Not only did they save the Cuchulain, they saved the whole, I suppose, war with the Romulans, really.
Stopped us from going back
the
to
escalation of, I suppose, something that Starfleet always seems to find himself in with the Romulans. This kind of cloak and dagger, tipsy toe kind of thing. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they're going to do. And we definitely rule today. Let's hope today's mission will be exactly the same.
So, Pat, so what was your enduring memory? So introduce yourself, your role on the ship, and your best memories from our last epic session.
Pat the Cannon.
Pat Cannon, yes. Yeah, so Sergeant Pat Conran, I'm tactical officer on Beta ships. I like blowing things up, and let's see, the pretty amazing mission. Despite the fact I got myself covered in hull sealant, but then
how did you do that, Pat? What were you up to?
Yeah, that rock. I was on the outer hull of the Nightingale trying to repair the hull breaches, and there was an incident involving sealant. It kind of went everywhere, and there may have been some getting knocked off the ship with my magnetic boots and some floating away until I was caught. But it was all cool. It's a learning experience. It rocked. And then we developed the Pat Cannon, and there was an epic phaser fight, an emergency beam out at the end. And that rocked.
Excellent, excellent. So, Zap, you just introduce yourself, and you have all the notes, so you'll probably be able to give a proper log entry there. Tell us what happened in the epic session from.
It was like this, Captain.
It was like that when we found it. Lieutenant Drew Flanagan, Zap, everybody knows me. I'm flight control officer. So if I spin around too hard doing donuts and you fall over, my fault. We started off with the brief. We had a three-parter. We had to ensure that no war was declared. We had to save as many from the Nightingale as possible, and the Romulans were to get no technology data. So we were up against a Chavarro-class warbird who was hanging around suspiciously just the other side of the neutral zone.
As they do.
So we got permission from her commander to beam a crew over to the Nightingale for repairs and assessment of the crew.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got there, we found things were a little bit kind of Agatha Christie going on.
Not quite right. Things are not quite right.
Spidey senses tingled.
Things were a bit strange in and of the crew, like the XO, their captain was taken out, was talking to their con officer, saying it wasn't their fault. So there was a lot of guilt over whatever happened on their end. So we tried accessing the computers and had some trouble doing that. So we divvied up the work between the team and went off. And Anne and I ended up chasing our tails, basically.
No, we weren't. We were chasing the bad guys, and we herded them towards one section.
Chasing the Vulcan.
Yeah.
Who turned out not to be a Vulcan.
Who was not, shouldn't have been on the ship. Well, they should have been, but they were actually
chased through the shuttle bay, and their wave rider and a phaser fight ensued. And the XO decides, oh, the hell with this, and initiated auto-destruct. And we held on as long as we could and delayed the Romulan escape. And then we got the emergency beam out, got back to Cuchulain, and walked off just before the Nightingale exploded.
Exactly.
At that stage, then, the Romulan Diderdex warbird that we knew or suspected highly that was lurking about decloaked and made its presence known. And we were going,
we knew you were there.
And we were delighted then when the Nightingale exploded and the Chavarro took a lot of damage and it had to be towed home by the warbird instead of the Nightingale.
And we toasted marshmallows as we watched.
While Pat was standing there on the hull in prime position to fire his sealant.
He was so
Do you need any help? We will offer help. I've got sealant.
I thought you were going to throw it over, Pat, or something.
Okay, well done. So we've got a decent number of people watching live, which is great. Always great to have Nikki along. So thanks, Nikki, for chiming in. We've also got Patrick Kiernan. Thanks for joining us. These people are all joining us through the YouTubes, which is great.
Yay!
So we've got people on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching via YouTube, you'll only see the YouTube messages and comments. And if you're watching via Facebook, you'll only see the Facebook messages and comments. We get to see them all here, which is great. The ones that I think are fun and sticking and interactive and funny will get posted as we go. But as we get to a certain point, there will be kind of times when I need to just continue on with the game, So okay. So hopefully it'll all go well. I'm getting I'm hope that here's a question, guys. Is my picture smooth and my audio smooth? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I'm getting StreamYard now has a little warning, so that must be because we're going to two platforms. So stick it back together with glue and sellotape. That's right. And Vanessa Fagan says, I have no idea what's going on. I'm like Brick in Anchorman. Okay. Oh, and welcome along to Mark Enstone. So great to see you all here. And then just arrived today, we have a special guest from I'm an old smoothie. I prefer moose.
Yeah.
So and as my name says, just like I'd say that a lot. So that's why my name is that today. Joining us today as well from Alpha Shift to help us with one of the characters that's going to be transferring across, which I'll explain in a second, is Antoinette. So thanks to Antoinette. Antoinette is going to be joining us today to make up some numbers and to also offset the fact that there's absolutely no blue anywhere else on the team. It's always good to have someone of the scientific medical persuasion around with all these people who like to pull triggers a lot. As we realized going through a number of games, Antoinette is pretty invaluable to the team, seeing that she can sneak way better than Robbie and Frank. She's the one who tends to remember what needs to be done when they're just going, point me in the way to shoot something.
Bitchy spider, yeah.
Yeah. So thanks, Antoinette. So for today's game, one of the things we're doing is on the last episode we had Sharon O'Neill joined Alpha Shift. So Sharon wasn't playing herself. She will be joining Alpha Shift as Sharon. So to confuse things, Sharon was playing Lieutenant Kristopher so that Sharon could start to join the game. So she was. We hoped to get her onto Beta Shift for this particular episode in the story arc, where she could play herself, but she's not available today because family things are a little bit more important. So Antoinette today will be playing Sharon. Everyone got that?
Yeah, read Sharon.
I got it. Not.
Does everybody understand what's happening? Because
No.
I sure hope I
That's
do
good.
too.
Why
Don't
wasn't this in the
explain it.
briefing, Jonathan?
What's that, Jerry?
Why wasn't this in the briefing?
This is the briefing, Jerry. This is the briefing.
Listen up, people. Yeah.
Listen up, people.
I skimmed through it. It's good.
So Antoinette will be giving us a handout to help us today in regard any NPCs that need to be rolled or assistance on the bridge or whatever you come across. But for other parts of the storyline, she will be playing the part of Sharon. So, and Sharon can argue with you later on whether you played her accurately or not.
He doesn't have one.
That's a bit of a controversial statement there, Nikki. We'll see how Sharon on Alpha Shift gets that.
It's the turtle.
So,
Mini turtle.
Mini turtle.
So thanks very much. So let's. So Antoinette, so you're going to be playing Sharon today. Antoinette, your character is down on the planet's surface. Just so for anybody who's jumping in today, would you like to give us a bit of a rundown of what happened in the last episode? So if you give the old previously on.
Oh God! See if I can remember. Previously on Star Trek Cuchulain. Alpha Shift were on the surface. We decided to. Well, not it was Robbie's fault. He blew up the deflector dish and caused massive storms on the surface. It was Robbie. It was all Robbie's fault. We managed to Sharon playing Lieutenant Kristopher managed to rescue all of us. And then we all got into the ship, and hopefully we're escaping.
Right. Was there anything you almost forgot?
We definitely didn't almost forget one of our vital players. We almost
Morgan.
You didn't almost forget Morgan. It's okay. It's fine. Everything's all right here now. We're grand.
Who else is wearing a red shirt today? Just so FYI.
Morgan isn't wearing a red shirt. Morgan doesn't wear red. Morgan is fine. So, Antoinette, you well, it's a good point. You need Sharon's character sheet. So, let's just as I'm looking for that, we will start the story in such a way that beta shift. So, who is on what station where? So, you're on the bridge, and you've been on the bridge and you know what's been happening up until the point where the Wave Rider not crashed, but the Wave Rider had a bumpy ride through the ionized atmosphere of planet Felina 2, in which you are in orbit. The area that you are in geosynchronous orbit over is the Bajoran settlement, and there was a small microsatellite which was acting as a communications relay buoy that was able to funnel data through the ionized atmosphere directly to the Bajoran settlement on the downed Bajoran vessel. So since Alpha Shift have taken the Wave Rider down, you guys have relieved the senior officers, and you are now on the bridge. And just to recap as well, Commodore O'Shea and Fleet Captain Elaine Whelan have been summoned away for a top secret briefing. So that would leave you lot in charge.
Let's go play with the ship. Let's go play with the ship.
Since I'm also in the planet atmosphere flying the Wave Rider. So for some reason in a 24th century starship and all the new rules and regulations, 5 of the senior staff are not on board. So the top tier staff members are not on board. So how is it that you guys have gotten to this situation? I'll never know. But anyway, so
Listen, if they can promote Tilly to first officer,
Because
we all
don't go there. Don't start that. We're playing a game here. It's all good. So
I want to be.
We're really good at not blowing up our own ships, so you know that works.
Well, I mean, you do have a better track record than Alpha Shift, so that's a good point. Right. No offense to Antoinette, she's not listening.
We have a record, full stop.
So tell me, who's at what station?
Okay, I'm at communications and internal systems.
Okay.
So then, Pat, you are at security and tactical.
I'm a tactical, yeah.
Zap, where are you?
Flight control.
Flight control. We've got Commander Jerry.
Flying the ship.
And engineering.
And engineering.
And Antoinette's medical and
Well, Antoinette is playing Sharon today.
I'm Sharon though. I don't know what she
what's
is.
she?
So Sharon is not on the bridge at the moment. So I'll tell you where Sharon is in a little bit.
Oh dear.
I'm just trying to find something. I tell you what, could Antoinette? It's not going to stick. But could you do me a favor and jump up onto the Modifius website and just create a character real quick? So just run through them and just create a security officer type person. So we got a long message from Vanessa Fagan watching. Now I'm not knowledgeable in these things, but I'm thinking you lot in charge is a bad idea. Bad feeling about this. Oops.
No way.
No, we don't blow things up. Well, any stuff.
So Robbie O'Brien's going. Let's put Pat out on the hull already.
I have the duct tape ready.
Duct tape and hull sealant.
Robo Pat, yeah.
Yeah. Way ahead of you.
Okay, so guys, you're all at your bridge stations, and you so Zap is. I'll rearrange some screens here. Zap's flying the ship. Pat is over at tactical. Jerry is you're in the center seat, Jerry.
I'm on the con here.
He has
and then hands up the back there, and then okay, all right. So let me see who here has the wherewithal and the understanding to be able to share their screen. Who wants to play Robbie O'Brien's role of showing what we're up to on roll 20?
Okay, I have 2 screens going here, so I can.
And do you want to take care of that?
We are currently, the last place we were was actually down in engineer, or in the captain's room.
But no, just pull up the roll 20 sheet page.
Yeah.
I'll
There's that it.
Yep, that's it. So, for anybody who possibly might be new, most people are regulars. But for anybody who's watching after the fact, we're using roll 20, and this is what roll 20 is our kind of game board as we play. So, for the moment, that is our title screen, and we shall move everybody to the bridge. Okay, so let's take let's take Alpha Shift off. Robbie is not there. Anne is at her, and Morgan is unconscious. So Jerry is in the big seat. Zap is flying the ship, and Pat is at tactical. And so that's how.
Where's Antoinette? Oh yeah, she's not on the bridge.
She's not. We'll say that Antoinette is also playing like any NPC that needs to happen in the background. So there's at least someone up the back, running around. There would be more people on board the ship. So don't forget. So we have a massive, a massive crew here on the Cuchulain. We've 250 odd people for a ship that can hold only 80. So for this particular issue, my character and those of us working in special ops, the Wraithorns, we have created an interphasic generator, and that interphasic generator helps us to create more space on the ship by sidestepping into parallel pocket universes, and so we have an expansive amount of scientific labs, and we have more sleeping quarters and all that. And because of the interphasic generator and the work that we've been doing on it, the Bajorans got word of it and requested the Federation allow them to have that technology so that they could increase the amount of farming space and arable land that they had access to down on their settlement. So that is where a secondary interphasic generator was loaded onto the Wave Rider, and along with Alpha Shift and an Argo, we went down to the surface and landed just outside the Bajoran settlement. So that is the last thing that transdimensional engineering. And there you go. There's Anne's character sheet. So as you guys are sitting there on the bridge watching the main view screen, you see the Wave Rider slowly enter the atmosphere, and as she comes in, she arcs her nose up, and flames and heat starts to engulf the Wave Rider as she hits the atmosphere, and starts to descend. So as that's happening, you see that it starts buffeting left and right, and it's becoming quite difficult to hold her on a steady course. And every now and again, you see a spark of static as the ionized atmosphere interferes with the shields, and she does her best to glide down. But as she's engulfed by the cloudy atmosphere of the planet, you start to see that she's actually having a very, very tough time of it. And then there's a minor explosion off the starboard wing, and as you notice that one of her stabilizers has gone, and she starts to list and go off her glide slope. But then just as she manages to reconnect her stabilizer, she disappears and is engulfed by the surrounding atmosphere of the planet. So you guys are all sitting there watching this unfold, and a couple of hours later, as you're just routinely holding geosynchronous orbit near the little box satellite. What are you saying, Andrew? It's like, do we check the seatbelt light? Was So everyone was bounced around all right on the Wave Rider as we descended. So what we're doing, so you guys are watching the, you've seen it go down and through into the atmosphere, but there was no kind of flame ball or anything engulfed. So you presume that everything is all right. Now, it's a couple of hours later. You guys have been sitting on shift, just doing and to see what's going on, but you've heard very, very little from the surface. And then there's really very few ways to tunnel through, except to use the communications buoy left by the Bajorans. Ejected by the Bajorans as their ship started to crash towards the surface. So you've been sitting there for a couple of hours, and you notice that just below the area that you're orbiting, the atmosphere starts to. There seems to be an electrical storm of some sort happening just below. So So we see you start to see that the atmosphere starts to become a little bit more violent in the area right beneath the Cuchulain on the planet. Is there anything you guys wish to do right this minute?
Can we try and raise the away team?
You can certainly attempt. You can certainly attempt.
Can we make an attempt? Can we boost our signal relay?
You can certainly attempt to boost the signal. All right.
If we could actually route it through that buoy, it might amplify it back down to the ground.
Exactly.
Yep. Okay, so what you need to do is start getting your your program, your subroutines ready, and start building those. So it will take a couple of goes. So again, for everybody watching, Star Trek Adventures is a D20 system in a slightly reversed style to D&D. So we use D20s, and 20s are bad, 1s are good. Unlike D&D, which is the other way around. You can have you roll automatically. You roll 2d20, but you can roll up to a maximum of 5d20 by spending momentum. And the momentum, it looks like this. It's a currency that the players can acquire. So 1 additional dice is 1 momentum, 2 is the second is 2, and the third is 3. So if you want 3 extra dice to get your maximum of 5, it will cost you 6 momentum. Okay. Now, if there's no momentum available, the crew have the option of giving me, as the games master, threat, which I can spend like momentum. So that is the way the system mechanics work. And then on character sheets, of which we have an example here of an engineer, we have attributes. We have attributes and disciplines, and we add those two, one from this, one option from this, and one option from this, and we add them together. That gives us a number, and then it's up to the team to roll under that number to be successful. As the objective becomes more and more difficult, the amount of successful rolls you need increases. Hence the need to start spending momentum and threat. As usual, I will generally control NPCs or anything else that might not be the crew, as the story dictates. Now, the final thing is when if we get into a situation where we need to roll for damage or other such things, there's a specialized D6, which have different hits on them. We've 2 blank spaces, 2 Starfleet deltas, which are called an effect, and then we have 2 hits. We have a single hit and a double hit. So for the guys, we use Roll20 for rolling their dice so that everybody can be honest, except for me, because I have a dice tray and I'm the GM. And that is how everybody is going to roll their dice. So does everybody remember on Beta Shift how to set up your dice rolls on Roll20? Yes?
No.
No. Directly in there from Jerry? No. So Jerry, off on the left side of your Roll20 screen, you're going to have, there's going to be a little dice icon. If you click on that, a little mini window pops up. So what you'll need to do is, that's one dice. There you go. Anne's rolling one dice. So in your advanced roll, you should have it defaulted to roll 2 d20 plus nothing, and that's what it is. Okay. Your target number will be less than whatever your discipline and attribute number becomes. Okay, so that's how you use that on Roll20. All right. So to activate your communications system and to see how that is going to work out for you, to connect to the communications buoy in orbit, a little mini satellite, you will have to create some communications subroutines, which is, I believe, is Anne's job.
Yeah.
So, Anne, internal systems, you are going to. So you're building a. That's helmet navigation. That's conflict, security override, and tactical. No, not doing that.
Communications and internal systems reference sheet.
Have you, communications. Where is my communications and internal reference sheet? What does it say, Anne? Because mine, I have to dig it out.
Okay.
I'm missing one. Right. Okay. Tell me what it is, Anne.
Okay, I've got minor actions, communication task, and internal system task.
Yep. Here.
Which one do we want?
All right. So, oh, hang on. Ha. Over here somewhere. Yes. Landing up there. No. Security and tactical. No. Comms. Right. You will have to. It'll be. Yes, it's a hailing frequencies open situation.
Yeah.
Signal jamming, damage report. So. Yeah. I mean, that's it. So that's a minor action, really. So you're going to be using. It would be control and control and engineering, I would say.
Okay, control and engineering is.
If you have some communications specialties, it would be what communications specialties would you have?
Okay, I have shipboard tactical systems. I have linguistics. They're my focuses.
Mm-hmm.
I have technical expertise.
Okay, technical expertise in what?
It just says technical expertise in my talents. I have survival skills, computers.
Okay, so you have nothing to do with communications. So it would be control and engineering for that role, and with a difficulty. The tunnel down through this atmosphere as it lights up, it's going to be difficulty of 3. Yes, okay. That is a very, very high difficulty. Anybody watching going, holy shit, that's pretty high. Yes, it is pretty damn high. There's stuff happening on the surface that we can allude to, but your characters really don't know what's going on. So. Okay,
I'm going to need to. Do we have any momentum at the moment?
You would have no momentum.
Okay.
I would have 5,
3. What do we need to do? Can somebody assist me with communication?
Can someone assist?
I can communications.
So
I have control and engineering. Will give me 11. Will that be any good, Jan? Also,
right. So,
I was thinking.
Go ahead, Pat.
Go ahead, Pat.
I was going to say if somebody else give Dan a hand with that, and then maybe I could try and run a sensor sweep afterwards, lock onto the wave rider.
Okay, no problem. So, Anne, if you make that roll, please.
So
it's if I have an assist, I can do 3 D20 or 2 D20, and the person who's assisting me rolls 1. Is that the case?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. And
I roll 1, so Jono, yeah.
Yep, you roll 1, and your target number is less than 11.
Less than 11.
Is less than 13. Okay, wish me luck.
Okay. Where you go on?
And gets a
What's
single
success? Hold on, Ann.
So, Jerry, as an assistant, you need to get 2 successes, which is not possible because you only get to roll 1.
Yeah, so, okay.
Okay, let's find another way around it, so. And we get Zap to roll 1 as well, with the double assist. Can we do that, Jono?
Of course, well, you can't do 2 assists, but somebody else can attempt the task as well.
No, we see. Trying to think now. The best way around this.
Leave it and they'll call us if they need us.
It doesn't work that way. The big ship looks after the small ship.
Yeah, we need to contact them. We need to know what's going on the surface, but we also need to know. I think.
We go with Pat's idea.
What would 1 success get me anyway?
One success doesn't get you anything. It's such a difficult task. As you're building towards it, it really doesn't work out quite so well. So you're having a tough time with that.
Okay.
Basically, you get to a point where 33% of the code that you're running, you're going, oh yeah, this is working, and then the last 60% of your task on your board on your console just goes. No.
Configure and launch a probe to act as a communications relay satellite.
That's a good idea.
Next one.
We just send Pat down and he can knock on the door.
Send down Pat in his EV2.
Yeah, and he can knock on the door. Yeah, all right, lads. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just cover myself in the ceiling to be grand. I'll bounce.
Very good. Right. So, you're trying to so you'll still have to program a communications buoy.
Yeah.
All right.
We still have to do this.
So you still have to program something and program it. So programming a buoy will be a little bit easier than tunneling through, because you're programming it for a task that it will conduct later using Anne's experience. So programming a buoy will be a difficulty of 1 to program it, but then operating it and getting it to do what you want it to do later is going to be a different story.
Well, let's get it ready first.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, who's going to do it? Because I've already run.
I can do it. What do I need to do, Jono?
Somebody else needs to try it. Yeah.
So what do I need to roll for it, Jono? Please.
You will need to roll your. Control and engineering.
Control and engineering, yeah, and it's 1 roll of the dice, yeah.
No, roll 2 d20, Jerry.
Roll 2 320. Okay, dokie.
Roll 2 d20.
On the way.
And less than 11, I believe, for you.
No.
So no successes there.
Right. Options. People.
I think Jerry, you've got your settings aren't quite right there. So
okay.
It's adding. No, you've got So Jerry, you've got roll 2 d20 plus 11. You're putting your 11 in the wrong box. So your 11 goes in the target number box, which is a couple of lines down below.
My apologies.
So that's so then the little dice rolling program will understand that you're looking for successes, not addition. Okay. All right. So, but anyway, you roll 2 d20, and which means you got 2 successes. Congratulations. Which means that you've managed to successfully program this probe. And so it is now ready down in the launch bay.
Okay, so we got that ready to launch. We've got Zap, we've got Pat, and Antoinette still.
Antoinette's just up the back, kind of at the science station, sucking her coffee.
Heracticina.
What's going on?
And just a head up there, guys. Are we in a good launch position? Or do we need to get away from that storm that's below us? Could we go around the storm maybe and launch from there?
There's no such thing. The whole planet's the storm.
Well, do we know?
The whole planet has an ionized atmosphere, Jerry. Just below you, it's getting worse. There's a heightened amount of activity down below on that part of the surface. So, does anybody else, before you launch the probe, does anybody else want which is now programmed for communications? Does anybody else want to do anything?
I think we need to do an external with sensors and maximum range, because I have a sneaky suspicion something's coming in, and it's nothing to do with the storm.
Okay, let's run
I'm out because I've already rolled this one, so it's got to be either Pat or Zap.
I'll try and I'll run a sensor sweep, see if I can locate them.
Maximum range.
Maximum range, exactly.
Sensors and internal system trackers. So a sensor sweep. Pat is reason and science, and it's assisted by the ship, which is sensors and science. Okay, so the ship's sensors and science is 14, because we're a science vessel, because that's awesome. So you are roll your reason and science first.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
My rolling, Jerry.
Yeah, you go for that.
We're rolling back, Jerry. Roll away.
It's a good thing we didn't count that roll, Jerry, because that was something disastrous happened there. If you'd done that.
Yeah, Jerry, what were you doing?
I believe this is Anita Malone, which joining us now. Hello, Alita. Welcome along.
Roll away, Pat, when you're ready.
Roll it there, Pat.
You did not wait your whole life to say that.
So, reason and science, target number 10, and rolling 2 dice. Yeah, what's the difficulty?
For sensor sweep.
What's the difficulty?
Yeah. If this is usually hang on. Yeah, so it's a difficulty of 1. Difficulty of 1 for Pat.
1. Okay, here we go.
What we got there? 2 successes. So Pat manages to bank your first momentum.
I'll get rid of that in a minute.
You have 1 momentum for later rolls, which is well done. So, so Pat, what you discover from your sensor sweep is that the atmosphere is starting to while got it. While the atmosphere is already a highly charged atmosphere of ionized particles, you're now starting to read a massive buildup of chronitons in the atmosphere as well. And the location in which these chronitons are coming from is right above the Bajoran settlements. It's coming from that location. So whatever the away team are up to, something's going on where chronitons are on a massive build-up at this stage. And you can also see on the edge of the sensor range that there's a small Federation shuttlecraft on the way towards the Cuchulain, which you presume should be Sharon coming back after dropping off the Commodore and the fleet captain and Whelan. So she's still quite a bit away, but she's in the shuttle and she's on her way back. Now, so what's next? What are you guys up to next?
There was absolutely, Commander, nothing else on the sensors.
No.
At all.
Not
What do you
even
mean? What are you looking specifically to find out?
No, absolutely nothing at this point in time.
Okay.
That would require us to move our orbit into a
safe distance.
well, not so much that, but maybe into hiding behind using the gravitational field at the top of the planet from anybody else.
How's Sharon going to find her way back if you start hiding the ship?
Well, there you go. No, I'm just keeping an eye out, but we may use that maneuver later on. So
can we get the shuttle on board first?
No, she's going to be. She's a while away at the moment.
I agree with Pat. I agree with Anne. I think we moved to a safe position.
No, we're not moving yet. Not yet, Captain, or whatever you are.
Let's be ready to so.
Yeah, we just keep a state of readiness on helm. But let's not preempt. Okay, let's get this buoy launched and let's get communications established with the away team that we know is on the planet.
Okay, Pat, buoy away. So
were we identified a wave rider on the sensor scan?
Did we?
No, you can't really break through the ionized atmosphere.
Yeah, well, I thought that would have come from the sensor if we got a large sensor.
Yeah, no, there's weak intermittent signals of the wave rider, and you see the wave rider. You can see that its warp signature is not. There's no solid signal, so it keeps appearing on different locations on the planet as the ionized atmosphere acts like a scattering field. But from what you can tell with your two successes is that it looks, for the most part, that I've been conducting a survey of that continent as per the remit of my mission. So the wave rider is further away from the site at the moment. But it's been appearing in different locations due to the scattering effect of the ionized atmosphere.
Do you have communications with the party on the surface from the wave rider?
Barely. Because I've been flying high in the atmosphere, or just below the atmosphere, but I'm still quite close to the cloud layer. It's been causing an awful lot of interference. So communications with the away team has not been stable.
Okay. Right, I was just going to say that if we could actually communicate with the wave rider and get them to go get the wave rider to the center.
Establish communication with those, even if it's just audio. Let's get communications up so with those.
Yeah, but would that buoy that we're going to launch now, or with that communications device that we're going to launch now, actually help with that, Jono?
It might do, as long as it's programmed correctly.
Yeah, if you are relying on me to program it, lads.
Yeah. Go ahead. Off you go.
No, I've already done it, and it's shite. I can tell you that now.
Don't forget
So Pat's gone. So Pat and Jerry and Anne, they've all done something. Zap, are you doing anything this round?
Yeah, I think you can launch it because you have control.
Launch will be next round.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because we have to wait for the program. It's ready to go. But
yeah, you have to wait for it to launch.
Programming hasn't been done, has it?
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Are you sure?
I just adjust the seat.
Yeah.
Stir the coffee.
Have you got the seatbelts on?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys have been conducting sensor sweeps and the massive, you see the massive buildup of chronoton particles in the atmosphere. And the visuals on the main view screen is that the cloud layer just above the surface is starting to become more electrified, electric blue. So it's becoming more and more agitated. There's more sparks. There's more lightning going on in the surrounding area. And you also see that there seems to be an epicenter now. We lost Jerry. So there's an epicenter. So who's this? Somebody saying hello? Captain O'Shea. There's the Admiral or the Commodore. He's joining us from the conference. Yeah, don't Anne Grace, don't crash the ship. So so as usual, Anne is telling everybody what to do, while Jerry is the one in charge. So
I'm just the number one.
I think. So anyway, there's as you Jerry's messaging here is he's lost his connection, so he'll be back hopefully in a minute. Yes, as you find as you see on the main view screen just above the planetary orbit, you see that there's a giant there's an epicenter appearing just above the settlement where it would be on the surface, and it's getting a lighter and a lighter blue, and it's now becoming almost a solid color, a solid white color, and you see that the particles are becoming the highly charged, and the clouds are starting to pulse surrounding it, as if there's something's gathering just below. Okay, so there's a massive buildup in the cloud layer below. What are you guys going to do? What are you doing? While Jerry is attempting to find himself.
Zach, you need to roll, because you need to move the ship to a safe distance where we can monitor the situation, but we're not going to get caught in any of the wakes. If it does decide it's going to dissipate out into space.
I can move us if you want.
Yeah, to a higher orbit, maybe. Or what do you think? What do you think, Pat?
Could we reconfigure the phasers to sort of act like a lightning rod, leave a stream of particles in the atmosphere to sort of discharge the storm?
Yeah, but it will come back up the phaser beam and hit the Cuchulain.
It doesn't even fact.
What about?
No, but if we were to sort of fire it through the atmosphere so that it would create a path to ground, maybe, or something like that.
Really, you're going to send it back down on top of Boimler?
So don't forget, if you're firing phasers into a highly charged atmosphere with its epicenter above where the away team are.
Yeah.
There's
fire phasers.
5 crew members in down there.
Yeah, we don't want to vaporize them. We just want to torment them, but we don't want to vaporize them. Yeah, reconfigure doesn't work if you know.
Alpha Ship, are you monitoring this communication? Can you hear what they're planning? I think engineering has sent a message. Engineering have sent a message from down below, and this is Nikki's opinion of what will happen.
Hey, I didn't suggest. I suggest move to a safe distance and let it lay out and toast the marshmallows.
But still maintain.
Yeah, the geosynchronous orbit.
Yeah, just move it higher.
Yeah, that's what I said. Move higher from the planet into a higher orbit.
Away, just in case.
Yeah. But now this gives me another question. Would us actually launching any kind of buoy or anything into the atmosphere at this point or around this area cause it to basically go boom? Would it ignite it basically?
Well, I think we're just going to send the probe over to where the Bajoran one is, and because it's one of ours, it's going to be stronger. It's like it's top Starfleet.
Is that buoy the one that was launched by the Bajorans? Is that not going up and down in the atmosphere, or is it stationary?
It's geostationary. It's sitting outside. It's sitting in geosynchronous orbit outside. It's being periodically turned on and off.
Ah, okay.
So that its power signature, when it's in kind of standby mode, is negligible for any other passing patrols that may maybe in the area.
Okay. Okay, what do you think?
I'll back us off a couple of kilometers and then we launch the probe to move to that position and act as a relay for us to get through on our combat.
All right, fair enough. So launch the probe. There's up. So just roll to launch the probe.
Well, if he rolls to launch the probe, can he not raise us into a higher orbit?
Well, it's either Zap moves the ship or he launches the probe. One of the other of you can launch the probe.
Okay, well,
I have to move the ship first because we
I want to launch something. I launch the probe.
We want to be further away.
Pat's at tacticals.
Yeah.
So
I'll move it up, and then you can press the red button, Pat.
that's a great idea, guys. Go with that
Pat
one.
Pat wants to press the red button. So Zap, just roll to move the ship, which is so that's you're being helped by, so it's control and con, and you're being helped by the ship. It is a reason and con. Is that what you rolled?
I accidentally hit the button there for a second.
Right. So you roll reason and con, and the ship can assist you with computers and con. So the ship's computers and con target number is computers and con. Computers. Yeah, 10 and 12. So it's 12 for the ship and whatever it is for you.
Reason and con for me is 14.
14. Okay, so one success. So well done, Zap. So that's very good. Just short of blowing some relays in your console there. So that is it's not a difficult task at all. So you bank on momentum. Well done. And then just roll for the ship to help you there, which is computers and con, a difficulty of so that's a difficulty of 1. Yep. For the ship, just roll that yourself there, Zap. 1 dice, difficulty of 12. One success. Well done. So the ship helps you with that situation. So explain to me where you're going. You're just going on the z-axis away from the planet?
Another 20 kilometers.
Just you basically, if this is the orbit, you're just going straight up. Yeah.
Yeah. Using thrusters.
Sweet. Okay. Well done. That easily done maneuver with some momentum banked there. So Pat is going to fire the Pat cannon.
No, fire the freaking laser. Aim for the top of Boimler's head. Go on.
With freaking lasers on it.
You're just putting the probe beside
what am I rolling?
Where the Bajoran one is.
Okie dokie. So what am I? What are my targets? What am I using?
To launch a probe. So where is our probe launching things? Tactical reference, launching probes, firing. So well, that's firing a weapon. Communications and there's generate shields, damage control, transporters, sailing frequencies, opening, responding to hail. Commanding officer's reference. So, well, unless firing a probe is pretty easy, but I'm gonna treat it like you're firing it's the same as firing a torpedo, except it's a probe. So to fire a torpedo is weapons and security. So which I will change from weapons.
Security 5 weapons.
Well, no, sorry, that's let me see. Fire the weapons. Tactical. No, single weapon system on board. Chooses a variable target and makes the attack. This is a control. Sorry, control and security. It's control and security. Well, because it's a probe, you can I'll let you choose between control and security or control and science because it's a probe.
We are going to go control and security because that gives us 17.
Ooh.
And 2 dice, isn't it?
2 dice for basics. Yes, that it is.
Okay.
One success and an arrow, and a slightly larger margin for error there. Congratulations. So you've launched the probe. It's on its way. You see it. It pops out of the torpedo bay, waits a moment, and then fires its thrusters and starts navigating towards its programmed destination, which is to match the orbit of the Bajoran's little communications box satellite. So it arrives pretty quickly. You're only like 100 kilometers below it. And it takes up geosynchronous orbit next to the Bajoran buoy and starts pulsing its location beam and its data towards the ship. So, okay, what do you want to do next?
Try hailing the away team.
Okay,
so that would be me. So
yeah,
so that would be
communications. Jerry's talking about communications. Poor Jerry is trying to reconnect right now.
Yeah.
Communications. So internal system tasks, communication tasks. Yeah. So hailing frequencies open. Yeah, it's not. There's nothing here that says establishing a communications link with a ship facility or other place that can receive subspace or similar transmissions. Nothing requires that the contacted vessel, etc., except that they respond to the hail. Right. So, what you would need to do to break through the ionizing atmosphere would be to roll control and engineering. And be assisted by the by the ship's communications and security. All right. So to try and reach the alpha shift would be a difficulty of 3.
Okay. And what was the ship assisting me is doing?
The ship assisting you would be communications and security. So communications and security for the ship. Communications is 10, security is 2, so the ship has a score of 12. And what do you have?
13.
13. So roll. You need it's a difficulty of 3, so you need to get 2 successes, and the ship needs to be successful as well. So at this particular point, you can spend momentum and threat.
Okay, I think 1 momentum. What do you think?
One momentum will get you 1 extra dice.
What do you think?
Yeah,
1.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So if that gives me my 2 successes, then and the ship will give me its assist.
Yeah. So the ship you need to get below 13 on 3 dice, and the ship needs to get below 13 on 1 dice, and then one of you has the ability to fail once.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you get an assist as well? Or?
No, she can either be assisted by the ship or a crew member. So if a crew member has a higher score in
communication
control and engineering than the ship, then it might be better for them to assist.
Okay, what's control and engineering? Who's got more control and engineering?
Probably Jerry.
My control and engineering is 15. What's the ship again?
12.
It was 12.
Yeah, but that takes you out of the round then. Oh, you've already gone, haven't you?
Oh,
No,
that's already.
I'm already out there.
That's
yeah,
already.
you've already yeah, so you can't assist me anyway. Right, listen, I'll go ahead and I'll try it anyway, and we see what happens, okay?
Okay. All right.
I'm a real kind of suck it and say, yeah. Anyway, we'll see. I know I did not say that on live TV. Fuck off. Both of you.
I was
See what
just
you got,
fingering
man.
drool
See
on
what you
my
got. Oh,
console.
so close, man. So close to bad news there, but you didn't
Oh
quite
my
get
god.
it. You're okay. You're okay.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
So, roll for the ship. So the ship
Okay.
is scored so below 1 dice for a roll of below 12.
12.
While I munch on Pringles.
Ah!
No successes. So you don't manage to tunnel down through the ionized atmosphere at this particular point. The turbulence and the chronitons are making the signal bounce off the atmosphere and skew off into different directions. So it's a tough ask to get through that. All right. So anybody other ideas?
Okay, well, I think
Jerry's back.
Yay!
Jerry went off to the replicator for a coffee.
Yeah, however that goes. Yeah, rotten coffee anyway.
Yes, I know, Nikki. I'm sorry.
Apologize to all the kiddies that are
Yeah,
watching.
Nicky.
Yeah, they should
That's
be in
not
bed
the
at this
Starfleet
stage.
way, Anne. That's not the Starfleet way. No, it's
I
not get
know.
back up again.
This is why I'm beta shift and never be alpha.
It is now with Discovery.
Yeah, you can only swear in the 22nd century or the 25th century. There's no swearing in the 24th century.
It was a dying art in the best of times.
It was the best of times. It was the worst.
It was the worst of times.
Message.
It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. Yeah.
Well, you can always go French.
Okay, so what are you guys doing? So Anne is Pat has fired the probe. Zap has moved the ship out into a higher orbit, and Anne is attempting to communicate with the surface, but has not been successful enough. So what other options? What's that, Jerry?
I go away for one cup of coffee, like.
Okay, can Jerry? No, we've already had the ship assisting us now, so this is listen.
What do you need me to do, guys? I'm just back. What do you need me to do?
Well,
What do we need to
what's
do?
our
Everybody in
situation?
the
Like,
location they
do
would
we
be.
know the OA team are in trouble, or we just aren't okay?
Well, we have to presume that they are in trouble, Pat, because
Yeah.
it's right above them.
You all right, lads?
Yeah. Listen, we haven't heard from them in several hours. There's chronotonic radiation right above them. It's getting worse. So the odds are they're going to need some kind of assistance. If it's not from us, then we can't get the Wave Rider over to pick them up because remember, we can't use transporters because of the radiation anyway.
Can I make a suggestion?
Of course you can, Jerry. You're the one that's in command.
Yeah, well, this is my idea. Can we enhance the shields? Get on to enhance the shields more. Can we get as close as possible? And can we put our tractor beam and try to pull them out a bit more? And then maybe they can move the rest of them themselves.
You can't. Well, you can't pull. They're not in a ship. They're in the Argo. So they're in an open top buggy.
You can't pull them up through the atmosphere in that. Also,
they're not wearing Pat's EV suit.
We could anyway.
Well, apparently you can't actually refine a tractor beam to that narrow. It becomes a laser at that point, and it would incinerate.
Yeah, it's too low. Yeah. Well,
Much as but no. A good idea. I was thinking maybe.
I'll just pick them up with a tractor beam and drag them through space. Great, no worries.
That'd be great. Just it's like having cans on the back when they say "just married." It'll be a boiler bouncing along the atmosphere.
The rain may be a bit rough, right? But you know.
I'd do it for the shits and giggles anyway, because I'm sure he'd love it.
There's coffee in that there, Nebula.
There's a boiler bouncing around.
All right, so
a handbrake turn just to see how far he's swing.
With that in mind, we have Pat on the nose and we have Robbie on the back. So, excuse me. Let's see. So, with all that in mind, how are we do? What else do you think you can do?
Okay. I think somebody else needs to. Jerry, is there any way we can get you to roll to try and communicate with the wave rider.
Okay.
What level of difficulty? Now, before you go running off, I need to know what level of difficulty that is, John.
To communicate with the wave rider.
Yeah.
Using that same probe.
Mm-hmm. It's the same difficulty. It's the same difficulty as trying to contact the away team.
Right.
It's trying to tunnel the communications through that turbulent atmosphere of ionized atmosphere.
We need to get the two planet side entities together. No, he's not burning. He's just going to singed a little bit. It's just we need to get them together so that if it becomes necessary for us to bring the ship down through the atmosphere and try and meet them halfway.
Well, I think the advisory was that the torsional stress on the ship. It's one of those things. There's a mid-range availability for ships to pass through the atmosphere. So the ship is too big and a shuttlecraft is too small. So the best option was the wave rider to safely calculations to get safely through such an atmosphere was. Well, the only ship that we have that's stable enough was the wave rider, which is also one of our little cargo run vessel. So if a shuttle entered the atmosphere, it would have an easier time than a large starship.
Yeah, but we're getting Sharon coming back with the shuttle.
Yeah.
But the shuttle would be ineffectual against a wave rider, and there's no way we can get... I'm not prepared to sacrifice the landed party on the surface for the wave rider or vice versa. I want both out. And preferably with the Bajoran so they can answer for what the heck they're doing down there.
I think the Bajorans are gone at this stage.
What? No, they're hiding in a hole.
As well, yeah.
So you don't know that, Anne. You don't know that.
I don't know that exactly.
You don't know what's going on the surface. You guys, all you guys know. I know everybody's pretty much watched the episodes, but there's no your characters don't know what's going on the surface, right? Yeah. So it's all you guys can observe is that the atmosphere is getting more and more turbulent, it's getting more and more violent. There's chroniton radiation and excited particles flashing through the atmosphere above the settlement, and there seems to be an epicenter to this particular location.
Right over Boimler's head.
No, and I think I need the focus to save the crew first. I think extra will be the Bajorans, but save the crew first. So, suggestions, people.
All right. So, at this particular junction, so you notice that. Everybody roll. Let me see. Let's see, what am I going to... Everybody roll their presence and science. And Zap, roll your presence and con.
What?
While I eat a Pringle.
Is it 1 dice, yeah?
2. Always 2.
Always 2.
Always 2 there are.
2 to always. Here we go.
Presence and science is 10. Buggeration.
Well,
I got 1.
Mary gets 2 successes and gets a success. Good.
All right.
Pat gets a success. Well done.
Oh, shit.
Who's that, Zap?
Zap gets a success and a complication.
Oh dear.
So
I give it like 20.
I'm not sure who this Facebook user is, but I think it's the captain. I think it's Alan O'Shea. It is Alan O'Shea.
Wait, who's getting fired?
So right, okay. So well done, everybody, except Zap.
Except that.
So we're all doing well. Sorry, Antoinette, was she looking frozen on my screen there?
She's probably gone to have her tea. God bless her.
She's stuck out in a shuttlecraft on the way back. So as you're sitting there, Jerry, you're looking around at everybody's console and the displays in front of everybody, and you notice that the epicenter of this particular storm cell, that's this chroniton storm cell beneath you, is about to erupt below the ship, and there's a high intensity energy beam pulses through the cloud layer and comes straight for the ship. As it hits straight up, you guys are in geosynchronous orbit above the two probes. So the first thing it hits is the Bajoran probe, instantly destroying it, and then the Cuchulain's sensor probe that was matching its orbit, that gets knocked and starts to overload, and then not 50 meters from its previous location as well, and is destroyed. And the beam finally reaches the Cuchulain and impacts the shields. So roll for let me see
2
here.
seconds now.
Why is it always the one that's not on top of the pile? Okay, this. So,
Again.
Yeah, what am I rolling?
so Pat, let me see. Pat, you are rolling to. So, what do you want to do? The ship is being hit by a massive chroniton surge in a conformed pillar of energy going aiming at the Cuchulain.
Engineering more power to shields. Helm, take us out of synchronous orbit and take us away from the beam at a safe distance. And Bria.
Okay, all right. So you need to roll that. So who's taking the engineering job? Zap, you're going to take the con job.
Pat, what's your engineering? What's your?
I'm engineering.
Yeah,
That's
no.
what I
My engineering is only 3.
So is
All
mine. So is
What?
mine. Doesn't matter. So
So
I've got 4.
So Jerry can leave the captain's chair and he can run over to a console.
Yeah,
Yeah.
engineering.
I've done
You
that.
go
Yeah.
to engineering.
So Jerry's over at the engineering console and he's going to do his
I'm
engineering
boosting
thing.
power to shields.
We need
So
to,
to boost-
yeah.
So we call that modulating the shield. Modulating the shield.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is control and security, right? And assisted by the ship's structure and engineering. The difficulty is 2.
So I can roll. I can roll 12. So difficulty 2.
Yeah, but you might need an extra dice. You're being assisted by the ship. The ship needs to roll as well.
Yeah.
But I roll 3. So
No, roll
you
2.
roll. The ship is structure and engineering. Ship's structure and engineering is 12, and then your control and security.
that's 12 also.
Okay, so you can roll 3 dice and see what you get.
My control and security is 17.
Okay, he's already rolled.
Get 1 success.
And a complication.
And a complication.
Oh dear.
1 success. Okay. All right. What else is happening? Zap, are you doing something?
Yeah, he's moving us out of the beam direct path. So it's got to be moving us sideways or whatever.
Well, it's just a maneuver. It doesn't.
Yeah, it's just a maneuver out of the direct beam.
So
The directional beam.
roll Zap for evasive maneuvers.
Pattern Delta. Yeah.
It's pattern beta shift. Hold on while I stick an
All
oar
right,
out.
pattern.
Let's roll.
That's an attack pattern, man.
Elma navigation. So it's reason and con, assisted by the ship's sensors. It's a difficulty of 3, and because you've got a complication, it's actually in the last roll, it's a difficulty of 4. Is that?
Okay.
Can I assist?
Yeah.
One is a single hazard.
We have a momentum left.
We do have a momentum. You can use that as well.
Bend it to get us out of the way.
Yeah.
'Cause
So can I assist you with?
So he can either be
You also have a
assisted by a
talent.
crew member, or he can be assisted by the ship. The
What's the
ship's sensors and con are 10 and 2 is 12.
Okay. And what are you? What is that?
I have
Thanks, Vanessa. That's great to hear.
I have a talent that we can use here, efficient evasive,
Uh-huh.
so we can take evasive action.
Okay, cool. That means that you reduce your difficulty of 4 down to 3.
Okay. And you have 3 dice because you're using a momentum, and you're being assisted by the ship. Sorry, what is the roll that you're rolling, Zap?
He's rolling from evasive maneuvers away from the
Yeah, but is it
energy.
control or
No, his is reason and con.
reason and con? And you're saying
Evasive action is control and con.
control and con.
Yeah.
Evasive
if I was-
action is control and con, is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually reading chart hazard here. So if whichever is better for you. Evasive action is control and con, or chart hazard is reason and con. So it's up to you, Zap, whatever you want to use.
Yeah, control and con better gives us 16.
Okay,
Oh,
go.
that's perfect. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Two successes. Roll for the ship because you need one more. Oh, and by the way, if somebody wants to make a note that this is a power requirement of 1. So the ship's power is a total of 9, so you're now down to a total power of 8. Okay. Somebody wants to make a note of that, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zap.
He's busy.
Okay, you need to roll one more dice, don't you, Zap?
Yeah, what about to roll for the ship?
12.
12. Secure evasive actions is structure and con is 8 and 2, which is 10.
Oh, grand.
Yeah.
Well done. Zap manages to move the ship out of the way. Ship only takes a minor. How did we do on the? Remind me. How did we do on the shields, Jerry? Oh, you got a complication when you were boosting.
I got a
and you were
complication.
shield.
Yeah, she's a holding.
So you got a success on that. So you managed to get the shields, but the beam, as Zap moves the ship, and the ship starts to bank out of the way. As the ship is sitting there, and the beam comes up, Zap starts to move the ship away. The beam just glances off the shields, and because of his complications, the ship is rocked, but it's okay. All right. So well done, Zap, for avoiding taking damage on that. All right. So even with all the difficulties there, so Jerry, roll your fitness and security, Jerry.
Fitness and security. 2 seconds now. Yeah. 11. How many dice, Jono?
2 dice always.
Okay.
2 dice and difficulty 1.
Yeah, 1 success.
1 success. Okay, so as you're working away there, Jerry, as the ship gets hit and rocks, you notice a buildup in the back of the console, and you manage to just dive out of the way as it explodes. So there's now a small fire on the back console next to you on the bridge.
So I grab a fire extinguisher and put it out.
Okay, that'll have to be
gone.
that'll be your next. That'll have to be your next go.
Have I gone this round?
Can you run over with a fire extinguisher so on? Are we going to
I'd
save
love
them?
to, but I'm not sure if I'm going to.
Not for me.
Yeah, no, if it was Miss Herald. Yeah, no, the last one did I roll for this round?
No,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, so
Don't
what do I
think I
need?
did. And I'm sure I have a kind of hole sealant somewhere.
I'm just gonna run. I'm just gonna run over the circles like I'm on fire now, trying to put myself out.
Okay, well, I'll run over.
You're-
How do I get out? What do I need to do to put out that fire?
Right, so it's just a minor action it's 2 minor actions to go to the equipment locker, open it, and take out the extinguisher. All right, that's just and then you'd have to run across the bridge with the extinguisher and leave your post.
Okay. Well, I mean, and then I can run back.
Or you can just let Jerry deal with it because he's nothing else to do because his console's on fire.
Well, you're not injured. You're not injured, Jerry, are you?
Anyway,
No,
look,
fine.
console's on fire. Jerry's dived out of the way. He's
Need
fine.
the uniform shirt. All right, yeah, but it's otherwise like.
Okay.
So one of the junior officers that's also on the bridge, represented here by Antoinette's little icon, runs over, opens the equipment locker, pulls out an extinguisher, and activates the fire suppression system that's in the ship. All right. So, because the ship is pretty much fully functional now. Remember that you are down by a power point.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay. So, Anne and Pat, if you could roll your roll your presence. Roll your presence and security.
Okay.
Ooh, that nearly was a 20. Absolutely nothing there from Anne.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Better nothing than
Pat,
something.
Pat, here we go. It's down to you now, Pat. It's either that now or the sealant.
Come on, Pat.
Ooh.
Yes, Pat.
2 successes from Pat. Well done, Pat. Lovely. So now that the ship is being hit,
Yeah.
Pat, you notice on your console, your tactical console, that there's a problem in the ship. Because the ship is just being hit by a massive beam of chronoton energy, it's filtered through the shields and down through the emitters and is now affecting the internal ships and the main interphasic generator on board the ship. So the ship is she's not listing. Zap has good control of her. He's taking control of her, but you're starting to see that that interphasic generator is more of a hindrance than anything else. So there's it's starting, certain areas of the ship are starting to change the locations that they should be in interphasic space. So it could either warn everybody to go to the emergency assembly areas and shut down the interphasic generator, or it's up to you.
John, could we
Okay.
sorry, Pat.
Well, I should report it for a start.
We'll report it.
Okay.
Go
and
ahead.
then,
Shut down the interphasic generator. So
Yeah, but you
is there a
can't.
backup one? Is there a backup one? And hail all personnel to their assembly point.
We have to do that before you shut them down, otherwise they're going to be locked in the interphasic space.
Okay. Hail the people first and then shut it down. And have
Yeah.
we a backup one, Jono?
No, there's only one on board because it's an
only
experimental.
one.
We're on board it.
It's an
We're an
experiment.
experimental vessel, so it's an experimental piece.
There's one on the planet.
Yeah, we have the secondary one is on the planet.
Well, I think it's a fair assumption now that
We're not going back down there
not
for a moment.
working with regard to the whole column of light that's just hit us.
Okay.
Think of it as a giant one of those, what do they call them?
Shiny light thingy.
Lightsabers. That's what it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
just
all-
been shot into space by Boimler.
How did you know it was him?
Vision I've got in my head now, Anne. Yeah, I forgot.
Process of elimination. Not
How
gonna
did you
lie.
know it was anything to do with Robbie doing
Everywhere he
anything?
goes, there's a big boom. Not necessarily directional, but that was just optional. It was good luck on his part.
And I definitely didn't tell him to do it from the outside of the ship. It wasn't my
Yeah,
fault.
Antoinette had nothing to
Good
do
girl,
with suggesting anything that happened on the surface. No.
Absolutely.
And you,
Basically, what you did was you just took Boimler and pointed him, so he was actually able to directionalize the beam.
so go ahead,
the
Jerry.
pot cannon and the Boimler torpedo. Is that it?
Yeah, the pot cannon and the Boimler torpedo. So go ahead, Jerry. What you were trying to get out?
So we're all crews to emergency assembly points and shut down the interphasic generator.
Okay, copy that. That's going to take.
Now we can do about it.
That's going to take 2 or 3 rounds to make sure that all because the ship has a capacity of 80, and there's 250 people on board. You guys make up a total of 5 people on the bridge, so there are 240 odd people that have to make it to the assembly points. All right, so that's going to take a bit of doing and a bit of working and crew members getting that sorted. It's basically it'll be a similar situation as to an Enterprise, a Galaxy class starship trying to do a saucer separation maneuver. You have to get everybody from the engineering hull to the saucer section to save them. Okay, so that's underway down below. You've made that ship-wide hail of all hands to the emergency assembly points. Every now and again, you will get Pat, on your tactical console, you get the odd communications. Everybody, all hands to the escape pods. No, assembly points.
Yes.
The difference.
Don't let anybody hit to jump into the escape pods.
Yeah, we don't need that yet.
Right.
We need to save them for later.
There'll be no room.
You need the interphasic generator working properly to get the escape pods working properly.
Yeah. So basically, it's all hands to assembly points. We are shutting down the interphasic generator. All hands to assembly points.
Okay. So the corridors start.
I have one job on this ship. It's a stupid job, but I'm going to do it.
We are not leaving the ship.
So the ship goes into an automatic yellow alert. So all the corridors start glowing yellow and pulsing, and the computer starts relaying the kind of fire safety warning to all hands to the assembly points. All hands to the emergency assembly points. Assembly points are Mess Hall 1, Mess Hall 2, and just relays that throughout the ship in a constant loop. So that's what's going on in the ship. The chronoton beam, as the Cuchulain moves out of the way of the chronoton beam, it continues to fire. It's got a massive amount of energy. So I think that's Alan O'Shea. So there's a massive amount of chronoton radiation, a massive beam just pulsing out into space. So whatever's gone on the surface has been increased many times. The power of whatever is emitting this beam has been increased many times over. And it's unidirectional off out into space. So, what do you guys want to do now?
Has the array been shut down?
Can we identify where the beam is coming from?
You could do a sensor sweep. You could do a sensor. Use the sensors there to try and get a trajectory of where it's going.
We definitely need to send a subspace message to Starfleet Command to tell them that it's actually on the way and show the trajectory, because there may be planets in its path before it dissipates.
Yeah, we could do that.
So.
Okay, so Pat, to do a let's see here. So a sensor sweep would be reason and science. assisted by the ship sensors and science. Okay, it's a difficulty of 0, so it's an opportunity to gain momentum. So if it exceeds the vessel's interference, ambient conditions, and particularly unusual and unfamiliar phenomenon should increase the difficulty. All right. So depending on the difficulty that you roll is what sort of information that you're going to get. So your control and science and
Okie dokie. So reason and science for me.
No, it's control and science and sensors and
Oh, control and science.
Control and science versus. My bad. Reason and science. And then it is science and sensors.
Okay, so that's for me. Reason and science.
And 4. So it's 14 for the ship, and whatever it is for you.
And it'd be 10 for me.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you got 2.
You roll them bones. Oh, that was my last one.
2 successes. Right, well done. So roll for the ship.
There's a bit of lag there. Okay. 2 successes, yeah.
14 for the ship.
14 for the ship.
Sorry, what was it again?
Single dice for 14.
Thanks, Sap.
Okay. And 2 dice again, yeah?
No, one for the ship.
Oh, shite. Okay. Sorry, hit 2. Okay.
And how do we do? No, just 1 dice. Flat, just 1. So roll 1 d20 with less than 14. Target number less than 14.
I rolled 2. Yeah, do you want me to do it again?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
5. Well done. So you get 3 successes. That is very well
Sorry, I have
done.
a big lag on my screen here.
Okay, so very well done on your sensor sweep from the tactical officer. So what you read, Pat, is that this chroniton beam with immense power must have been generated by someone hooking the whatever emitter that they've used to some sort of massive power output, like a warp core or something. Because this chronoton energy beam is traveling across sectors of space. And you see that its trajectory aims for the Bajoran system and an area on the Bajoran system between the main Bajoran homeworld and the outer planets to a small area called the Denorius Belt. So the chronoton beam is pulsating right through many sectors of space. So anybody coming into that line will notice it straight away. But what's happening off in the Bajoran system, you have no idea.
Okay. Have we notified Starfleet that it's there?
Your messages are always you're always sending logs to Starfleet as to what's happening.
Yeah, well, there's not much we can do with that because, unless we go over and kind of see.
There's no way we can distribute.
Yeah.
Don't forget, it's 2364. So sorry, it's 2365. So the Bajoran system is currently Cardassian space.
Right.
There's not much we can do at the moment with that. We need to focus. We've sent them a warning, haven't we, through Starfleet channels?
Yeah, as much as we can do.
Yeah, so let the diplomats deal with that.
Can we disrupt the beam somehow, or do we need to?
Well, it's basically Boimler has to say oops. It's like, let's go get him off the planet before he does any more damage.
Can we refocus on maybe the people on the planet? And
so as this is happening, you notice that the beam has been pulsing for a couple of minutes already, and this massive chroniton radiation has been expanding. You notice that the beam itself stops projecting, and whatever chroniton particles have been forced in that direction are now traveling at light speed, or beyond light speed towards the Bajoran system.
Sorry, can I ask, is it expanding as it's traveling towards the system, and is it dissipating?
No, it's basically a beam of straight. Imagine when a phaser stops working, it continues plasma energy. If you fire it, it just continues going at that direction. So, but it's finished emitting from the planet. But what you do notice now is that where the storm cell that it was emitting from seems to be expanding exponentially around the planet. So whatever's happening down there, it's starting to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So there's a cascade effect happening on the surface.
Yeah, we need to get them off the planet as soon as possible. We also need to get the Wave Rider over to pick them up, because that's the most.
That's the only option. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've no way to communicate with the planet's surface. Both the Bajoran satellite and the communications buoy and your probe that you launched have been destroyed by the chronoton energy beam. So it's just a Cuchulain.
Do we have enough materials to make another probe?
Oh, you'll have a bank of like 10 probes on board or something.
Can we launch another one, so?
It's a scientific vessel, so you have anything you can think of. Anthony and Lee Raythorn down in Special Ops can, throw something together in conjunction with Alan Whelan and Nicky Ward down in engineering. The rest of the crew are there, and it will only be those who are not on duty that are going to the assembly points. All the main crew that have stations around the ship will be still at their posts. Like, nobody's going to leave engineering. There's only one engineering.
Okay, well,
can we reconfigure a probe to fire down into the atmosphere?
Okay.
And then once it gets below the atmosphere, it can start transmitting a recorded message.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a really good idea.
Okay. So let's get communicate with you have to coordinate the rest of the crew throughout the ship to start building that particular probe to launch it. Okay. And that's going to be a work task for the entire ship to be doing that. Remember how we did this the last time?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Magnitude and work is kind of like repairs. So we're going to have to do. So basically, this is where the A-team montage music comes in for the crew as you start building
I prefer MacGyver.
Or MacGyver, get out your chewing gum and start sticking stuff together.
Can we not have the Minion song, no?
Say that again, Jerry.
Let's get out the Minion song,
no?
Sorry, Anne spoke over you there. What was that?
I said, can we not have the Minion song?
The Dominion song.
Minions.
Oh, the Minions song. Right. It's like, what? You want to call the Dominion? We haven't met them yet.
Don't even get me started.
Okay.
All right. So, what we need to do is we need to build it. So, let's see here. Extended task has difficulty which is used to test over the highest difficulty can be modified on each task as circumstances such as traits dictate, but they start from the same place. Whenever a character succeeds at a task to overcome an extended task, there are additional steps to follow above the normal procedure for completing the task. So, what you're going to need to do is basically we're going to have to just continue rolling to get the crew, and Antoinette, you can help on this as if you're the other members of the crew.
Lovely.
to roll for the additional work. So you need. So if the number of breakthroughs achieved is equal to the extended task's magnitude, the extended task is complete. Right. So let me see. Each extended task has a magnitude normally valued 1 to 5, which represents how large complex the task is. Aha, yes. Equal to the extended task magnitude. Extended task is completely overcome. So we're going to call this one for a specific probe that's going to have to be launched to the surface. Commodore O'Shea says, "No chewing gum under the consoles, please." So to continue this particular element of building the probe, you need to the probe needs to be configured in such a way that it can survive the torsional stress of traveling through the ionized atmosphere with highly charged chroniton radiation. That its programming is going to be able to bring it to a position where it can either hover and travel the cloud, or indeed land and just be a stationary beacon. And it needs to have the message programmed, because once it travels beneath the surface of the cloud layer, it's going to, or beneath the underside of the cloud layer, it's going to be just as out of communications as the away team and the wave rider. Okay, so for all of that, I'm going to give you a magnitude of a task of 3. Okay, so which is a mid-range task. So you're all Starfleet personnel, and this is something that you do. All right, so everybody must work to build this system. So then what you need to do under normal circumstances. Each switches means determining the work will overneed which whenever a character succeeds a task as part of the extended task, it will make an amount of which is marked off from the work track. A work track normally has a value from 5 to 20. Okay, so and the work track is rolling these dice as we have to work done. Yes. Okay. So the character rolls 2. So this involves our D6s as well as our D20s. All right. So it's like conflict. So you roll your D20 to see if you can roll your D6, and your D6 you need to roll your deltas. Where is it? Which is your effects. Okay. So you need to plus additional effects equal to the discipline used for the task. The total roll on these dice, so we have to work on them. Okay, cool. All right. So we are going to use. What would you guys think is the combination to use for these particular tasks? So you can all work together on this and coordinate. Antoinette is going to be Nikki, Alan, and the Wraithorns, so you can coordinate with the rest of the ship. So
I think daring and engineering, because it's a whole new probe we're building.
Daring and engineering, okay. Would it not be that would be something if you're taking a risk, Jerry? I don't think so. It would either be insight.
It's a slight risk, Channel.
Huh?
It's a slight risk.
I would say it is insight and engineering, or reason and engineering.
Reason and engineering.
Okay.
So somebody can use insight if they think their character would know specifically how to build this, and somebody else can use reason if they're trying to figure it out.
Well, mine would. Sorry, Anne.
So, are we rolling to increase the shielding or increase the torpedo casing or probe casing?
So you're rolling for everything. So consider that the whole you're building the whole probe and for putting everything together. So you have multiple departments and multiple people working on the probe doing different jobs at the same time. So everyone will roll to help the endeavor. So you've got. So tell me what extras you're putting on the probe.
Okay. Well, we needed to go through the atmosphere.
Mhm.
We needed to either land or stay in an orbit that is
Locate a Starfleet comm badge and fly towards it.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. Well, you see, the problem with that is unless we program it to be specific for Boimler's badge, it's going to hit somebody.
Set it for Frank's.
Could,
Yeah.
That would be my
could
second
we
choice.
also
I think we need to put two messages
could we also
in it.
program it to
I can't hear you, Pat.
Pat's
It's
gone
not
again.
Pat's
Yeah.
connection or
Oh,
ours, is it? Is it Pat's connection, is it?
Pat's connection, yeah.
I think I'm a bit glitchy. Yeah. Could we program it also to record any messages, you know, from their comm badges, and then come back up above the atmosphere and relay them back to the ship?
Okay, so you want
Okay, I can
you
try
want a SpaceX type of probe, so it goes down, sends out a message, and then waits for a message to retrieve, and then use it as a kind of a buoy that travels beneath the atmosphere and back again. Okay, all right, that's
That's
cool.
a good
That's
idea.
cool.
Can I bring back a bag of chips as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Would it be a way as well that we could deploy multiple probes and like have carton hunters on them so that we could use the transporters?
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be possible. Like so that there'd be a relay of them, like so that they'd be close by.
That'd be a full extended, you know,
Task.
work of 5 task. You know, that'd be a magnitude of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we keep
We
it
stick
around.
it all on the one probe, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put bells on it, yeah, and off she goes. Yeah.
So the Commodore Alan is he's blaming the spiders, the Paluku, for communications difficulties. Yes, the spiders have they're emitting their own radiation that's causing problems in the
Okay.
atmosphere. Okay.
Fried spiders for dinner. Fricassee.
Leave it to the brass again, yeah.
Okay, so let's get rolling on this. Let's get rolling on this particular probe that you're going to build with the crew.
Is it roll 2, Jono, yeah?
Say that again, Jer.
Is it roll 2, Jono?
Yeah, so you have to start rolling with insight and engineering. All right.
Are we all rolling?
Yes, everyone's rolling to give it to help to give it a helping hand.
2 successes for me.
All right, Antoinette, you get to roll your d6. So
1 success for me.
well done, Jerry. If the number of breaks you achieved is equal to the extent of task magnitude.
Come on, beta shift, let's sort this out.
Is it just 1d6?
No, 2d6.
2d6. Is your target?
Yes, you need to roll a 5 or a 6. Yes, you need to roll 5 or 6.
Also, I don't need to put an actual target in.
Yeah.
1 success.
6.
Yes.
Plus additional. What was the discipline you used for your task?
I used reason and engineering.
So your discipline then would be engineering. How many engineering points do you have?
Let me just check my character sheet. Engineering 3.
3. So with your d6, it says here, character rolls 2 effects dice plus additional effects equal to the discipline used for the task. So that means total rolled on these dice is the amount of work done. So you have created a total of 4 work. Okay. If 5 or more work is made after reduction for resistance, the character also achieves a breakthrough. So you need 3 breakthroughs. So you didn't make a breakthrough there, Antoinette. You were 1 short of a breakthrough.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you need 3 breakthroughs, and you need to once you're successful, you need to roll. So this is where becomes a thing. You know, it becomes really difficult to do these things. Okay, so let's start rolling, guys, so that we can kind of The guys out there watching, this is the pretty boring part.
Okay.
We'll have to build stuff.
Is it D6 again?
So Zap, let's see here. So Zap, you got 2 successes. So Zap, you roll your D6. And then Jerry, you can queue up your dice just ready to roll. Don't roll them yet.
Okay.
So Zap gets roll a second one there. Zap.
Oh, sorry, that was me. I hit that by accident.
Oh, right. Okay. So Zap rolls his D6.
Yeah, mine was 2 2s.
2 2s. Where is it? I didn't see it. It didn't come up.
Both hands.
Oh, sorry. There it is. 2 2 and 2. So Zap gets nothing. Okay, Anne, roll to.
Well, I've just rolled my D20 and I rolled 1 D6.
Yeah, roll 1 more D6. 6. So you get 2. And then what was the discipline you were using? The discipline was engineering, wasn't it?
I used yeah.
Yeah. So what's your
4 is engineering for me.
6. So you get 2 and 4 is 6. So you get a breakthrough. All right. So that's 1 breakthrough. Pat, roll for your job in this. Don't look so bored, Pat.
Okay, I already rolled the D20. I got 1
Don't look
success.
so bored, man. Oh no, look at him. I feel sorry for him. What was that, Pat?
He's
You
pulling
rolled
a
already?
I got 1 success on the D20.
Okay, roll your 2 D6.
2 D6s, is it?
2
Okay.
D6.
Yeah.
And then add your engineering score.
Uh-huh.
So you get 1 and your engineering score. What's your engineering score?
Okay.
Sorry, you're glitching out, Pat.
Your internet's pretty terrible today there, Pat. That's why Pat is coming to us live from the bow of the ship in his EV suit.
Pretty much internet is showing that. What you get?
Oh, story drops. Come in, Pat. Pat, do you read? Pat, do you read? Cuchulain to Pat. Pat Conran, come in, over. Hello? Is this thing on? Is this thing working? Oh, I think we've lost the Pat, man. Does anybody know what Pat's engineering score is so we can move on?
I can't actually see it.
Right. Well, you know what? I'll give him an averaging score of 3. So that's fudging it. So he got. Oh, he's coming back. Pat, you
What
there?
did you get, Pat? Pat?
Oh, there you are. Yeah, I got 7 on the dice. So I had 3 engineering, so that's 10.
So you got it. You've got 4, a score of 4, which is not a breakthrough. So we're stuck at 1 breakthrough. So we got another breakthrough.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, we can.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So who else is helping out on this? Zap and Jerry, have you done it yet?
No.
Yeah.
All right, Jerry, you did successfully roll, didn't you? So, Jerry, roll for your D6.
Or a D20, has he?
Have you rolled your D20, Jerry, for this particular
I've rolled my
task?
D20 already.
So he got 2 successes. Congratulations. No, wait, he didn't. You got 2 successes there on the D6. What's your engineering score, Jerry?
3.
3. So he gets 5. So that's a breakthrough. Nice one.
Yay!
So you're on 2 breakthroughs of 3. Okay, and Zap, have you got to go?
I went, didn't get anything.
You didn't get anything. Okay. So
And Spencer, do you go?
everyone's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's done for this round. Okay, well done, everybody. That's really well done. That's because that can be a kind of a boring part of the game to see if you, especially for anybody out there who's watching, going, oh, they're getting out the screws and they're like, do you want that part?
It's Lego time.
It's Lego time. It's not something that you can we can do an exciting.
I want my Duplo bricks. Yeah.
I'm using duct tape.
Yeah, I love the duct tape, especially the camo flavor.
All right,
kept morning.
so well done, everybody. So you're on 2 of 3 breakthroughs. So you're close to getting that thing out the door there, or out the tube. Pat, I want you to roll your. I want you to roll your presence and security, please.
Okay, let's see now. Hang on. Presence and security. What's it got?
Oh, everybody make
stand by. Having a few computer issues.
What are you saying, John?
That's not you, Jer.
No.
No. Just Pat.
So far, so good. So far, so good. Don't jinx it.
Whoever's taking note of the ship's power, the shields have been up for quite a bit now.
Presence, security.
So the ship's down to 7 power. No successes. No successes there, Pat. So no worries. The shields have been online for quite a significant amount of time. So that's draining power. All right. So make a note of that. That your power is now down to 7.
Okay.
Really, Pat? You left the shields running? That's akin to leaving the immersion on.
You left the immersion on. You leave the immersion on. Go back down and turn it off, Pat.
No, turn it off.
Go back down and turn it off. That's an order.
Okay, somebody needs to turn the shields off.
We reroute the emergency immersion power, please.
So any of our friends. So for any of our friends watching out there in YouTube land after the fact, or any of our friends out there in SFI in Region 1, Pat, or Jerry, do you want to explain to them what the immersion is?
Okay, guys. So basically, if you wanted a shower or a bath or anything in traditional Irish homes a while back, you want to put something to immersion, which heated the water. So you turned it off, and you would technically enough hot water. But what people would do, and this would be akin to leaving the iron on, is they would go turn the immersion on, have their shower or whatever, and then they would go for a spin or go to a gig or just go on their holidays, and they would leave the immersion on, which would cost millions of pounds in electricity.
So basically, the situation here years ago was the immersion was an electric control to heat the water in the boiler in the main hot press. So if you left it on, you basically it's like keeping the kettle boiling for hours and hours and hours, and it would send up your megawatt hours terribly, and you get a huge electricity bill. So there was always somebody watching to make sure that you leave the immersion on. Oh Jesus, I left the immersion on. I have to go home because your electricity bill will be unaffordable the next day, the next bill around. Right.
That's what I said.
Huh?
Yeah, well, Universal Translator went down. Sorry, Jerry.
Sorry. Yeah.
So, and the other point is we don't use money in the 21st century. But anyway, that's fine.
You just have a limited power output on the ship until you can leave it
the drain on the power
for charging purposes. Right. Okay. Or let the power build back up. Like, I mean, we do have a warp core, so we can be out there for ages, but it can.
Well, somebody's turned off the immersion. I mean, the shields.
Can we get back to the running the ship and stop talking about the immersion, please?
Right. So who's the officer in charge of the immersion? Yeah. Okay.
That would be Pat, wouldn't it?
No, engineer.
Anyway, right. So it's another round. Well done, everybody. Now let's see if you can complete that task of rolling for the buoy. All right. Okay. All right. So it's the same rolls all over again. New round. Let's get it going. You should all have it charged up and ready to go. Click the roll. Let's start with Antoinette. Well done. 2 successes there, Antoinette. You bank a momentum. Well done. And roll your 2d6 to see what you get. Dun, 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 dun. You get, what's your engineering score, Antoinette?
3.
3. So you get 4. So you don't make a breakthrough.
That's
Okay. Who's next? Who's going to roll
I'll
next?
I'll go.
Jerry's rolling. Jerry. Jerry. Well, Jerry got. Oh dear. Jerry got a success and a complication.
Oh god. Like do my D6?
So,
Yeah.
but luckily enough, oh Jesus, Anne got a critical success and a complication. So Anne, well done. You got the equivalent of 2 successes. You bank a momentum, but something's gone wrong. Jerry, you got a success, but something's gone wrong. And what have we got here? 2d6 for Jerry. Jerry, what is your engineering score?
3.
3. So you get 4. No breakthroughs there. And Anne, roll your 2d6.
Okay, I just have to take that out.
And Anne gets a 6 and a 4. What's your engineering score?
4.
4. So you get 5. So Anne, well done. You got the final breakthrough. And so no need there.
Break free.
Okay, so you've managed to get your
Oh, well
somebody else
done.
Pat,
Pat.
oh Jesus Christ.
Oh, for God's sake, Pat.
Oh, oh my God. So we've had 4 complications as we're building this particular probe. So you managed to complete the probe is complete. Sorry, say that again, Andrew.
Can we not ignore that roll because we got the breakthroughs we needed before that rolled?
Pat shouldn't touch any
got one
button.
and then got one.
Well, I don't know because the next option was for Pat to fire the probe.
Oh, good Lord. No, he needs to do it again. That was a mistake. There's no way he's going near the
Yeah,
controls.
look, his internet glitch.
Yeah, look, he's you know.
It wasn't him, it was the gremlins. It was the Mogwai.
So, yeah. So anyway, we've had 2 complications, one from Jerry and one from Anne, and we've had another 2 complications from Pat. So between the so well done everybody. Between everybody programming the probe, enhancing the casing, working on the shields to get it through, and then for it to go from the science lab that's being modified down into the torpedo tube to be launched, and Pat launches it. As it fires out the front of the ship on our 2 bow photon torpedo launchers, and it makes its way to the atmosphere, and as soon as it hits the atmosphere in a spectacular ball of fire, it explodes.
Scheiße.
Pat.
Yep.
I didn't put enough duct tape on it.
Well, luckily,
I see myself out.
For God's
hang
sake.
on a second, guys. I bet you 10-1 because we were making one. We thought,
We'd make a second
heck
one.
with it.
We'll
Let's
make
make
a
more
second
than
one.
one because Pat's going to do something stupid.
Just
So
in case we need a backup.
yeah, so we did do a backup, didn't we?
That's why the backup.
Unless you guys have got to look at your talents or your whatever you've got extras on your character sheets.
Technical expertise.
I think I've got that.
What have you got? What have you got in your extra bits?
In my extra.
I have a value of being determined to succeed, so I would have built a backup.
Yeah, I've got technical expertise, constantly watching, and in the nick of time.
So what was that? What was that, Andrew? You said.
One of my values is I'm determined to succeed, so I would have built a backup.
Okay, so
Secondary
okay, so what I'm gonna say is that between Anne and Zap spending one of their 3 determinations that they get, if you spend your determination, which means that for this particular orbital scene, you lose that you have built not 1, but 2 probes.
I go for 3. I trade you for 3.
2 probes. You get 2 probes.
3. Because we need a redundancy, a backup for the backup, because we know Pat's here.
Triple redundancy system. So on this probe, Pat actually used some hole sealant, so hopefully it won't explode this time.
Again? Order more hole sealant, for God's sake.
So Frank says, see, Ivanova's right. There's always a boom. There's a boom today. If there's no boom today, there'll be boom tomorrow.
Boom tomorrow.
So, okay, so after spending some determination that you're determined to get this probe built, and that, Anne is constantly watching and waiting for
I'm resolute.
She's resolute. So you've managed to build modify a second probe in the same amount of time. And probe number 2 is loaded into torpedo tube 2. Roll to launch the probe, Pat.
Do not roll 20s.
Okay, what am I rolling?
You are rolling. It's the same as firing a torpedo, except you're firing a probe.
Maybe somebody else should roll.
Control and engineering.
Firing the weapon, so that is control and security.
Let's zap roll.
Let's zap roll.
No, Zap's flying the ship.
Okay.
Zap's busy.
Control and security. Okay, so that's 17.
Don't forget, the ship just got hit by a massive chroniton beam coming from the planet's surface and managed to get out of the way.
Hey, don't trust me to press the button.
And Jerry modulated the shields to so that the ship could take it. Didn't do a very
Did he
good
not
job.
turn them off?
But yeah, so it's control and security.
Okay. Rolling 2 dice. Here we go.
Narrowly avoiding another mess. Pat manages to successfully fire the probe at the planet's surface.
Right.
And the probe disappears into the atmosphere. So I don't know who that is on the Facebook chat. I think that's Alan O'Shea on the Facebook chats there. So well done, Pat. So the probe successfully starts heading towards the planet. And it enters the atmosphere. This time it does not go boom. There will be no boom today. Maybe there will boom tomorrow. So and it disappears into the atmosphere. Your consoles, especially the science station up the back, starts to light up with telemetry from the probe. So well done, and you start seeing that the atmosphere is that's from Alan O'Shea. Go on, you good thing there, Pat. Or as he would say there, go on, you good thing, Pat. Well done, nicely done there. Right. So what we see is from the telemetry, you've seen that the chroniton radiation of the planets has increased, and the ionization has increased tenfold, and as the probe gets deeper and deeper, its communications is getting weaker and weaker, but it's still, with the modifications that you've made, it's holding a little bit stronger, and as it passes through the atmosphere, you notice that you can its sensors are able to just about penetrate through to underneath the cloud layer. And you realize that you may have an opportunity at high altitude at this particular point to see if you can contact the Wave Rider.
Let's go ahead and try and initiate contact.
Yeah, let's contact.
What do I need to do that?
It's a communications roll.
Okay, so
Frank says, go on.
Can we get Jerry to switch the shields back?
Yeah, he needs to turn them off first. Switch them off.
We don't need any more shield once we've
cleared.
cleared.
Turn them off so we can regenerate the power. from the ship.
Okay, so
Okay.
Not turn them off, but put them to standby mode.
Standby mode, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so make a communications roll there, Anne.
What do I need?
Should have your communications reference sheets that I sent everybody.
Oh, hang on.
Hailing frequencies open. Establish a communications link to the ship, facility, or other place that can receive subspace transmissions. Nothing requires that the contacted vessel accept responding. Success means that both vessels communicate visual audio data freely. Complications or other circumstances limit these. Yes, so signal. We would consider this as if you were trying to break through a signal that is being jammed, which is what the ionizing atmosphere is doing. All right. So you would need control and engineering assisted by communications and security of the ship. Now we will reduce that down to, because you made a fantastic probe as a backup, your difficulty at this particular time would be reduced, let's say, to 1. So, Anne, make a control and engineering roll assisted by the ship's communications and security, which the communications and security is 10 and 2. So it's 12 for the ship.
And it is control and engineering for me is 13.
13. Roll. Roll it there, Roshi.
Okay, one second.
Well done. What a girl. Now, let's see. Right, we rolled it there. Well done.
Will I roll for the ship?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, thanks, Zap.
Roll for the ship. 2 successes. Well done, guys. So bank of momentum. As the probe travels through, you manage to see that there's a signal open to the wave rider for a few seconds. So you might be able to get a clean signal to talk to me in the cockpit.
Right. So we have it open. Yeah.
Off you go. What do you say? What are you doing?
So Commander East, can you read us?
This is John on the wave rider. Go ahead.
We're in orbit. We've just noticed a massive chronoton surge that has left the planet. Can you return to the base and retrieve the away team immediately, please?
Oh, I'm already on that case. I'm in very turbulent atmosphere. This all happened while I was just below the cloud layer. So I've got some damage on board. I've already lost a stabilizer coming through the atmosphere while the away team was with me. And then as I took off for my survey, whatever was going on back at the settlement, I've made an about turn. So I'm doing my best to get back to them as soon as possible. We've got tectonic shifts. We've also got volcanic eruptions in on the surface down here. There's also sinkholes are falling left, right, and center. It seems that subsurface of this planet has quite a lot of lava tubes that are now collapsing in on top of themselves. So whatever fauna are here is all scattering around. There's no real vegetation here. Most of the life forms here are of a hard carapace style, spiders and so forth of a larger scale, and it's more like insects here. But the wave rider, I'm trying to keep her flying straight and level. It's a difficult enough task, but I'm on my way back to the away team. But the away team are having their own difficulties, as far as I can see, with my intermittent sensor signals. That the Bajoran ship seems to have been jury-rigged to a lot more of its technology survived, and a massive chronoton beam has been emitted from their deflector dish. As far as I can see, a lot of warp energy was transferred through that deflector dish and enhanced its power, I don't know, 100-fold or even more. My sensors are off the charts. So whatever happened, I hope it didn't hit the Cuchulain as it exited, because I know you guys were in geosynchronous orbit above.
We sustained minimal damage as a glancing blow hit us as we were maneuvering out of the way, but we did lose the satellite. We've now inserted an additional probe down into the atmosphere to enable communications with you right now, and hopefully with the surface in a short period of time. We have a short window. Would it be better for you to return to the ship at this point? What is your considered opinion on the
with the state of the Wave Rider at the moment and the state of the atmosphere, and multiple journeys through this through the atmospheres might be a bad idea. So I would say it would be best for me to stay down here and do my best to try and collect the away team. As far as I can see, they're driving away from the settlement in the Argo as fast as they can. They are, but it's not a straight line because of the sinkholes and the lava tubes that are collapsing around them. It's a difficult road for them. But again, I'm trying to avoid plasma storms, lightning strikes, and all other type of atmospheric disturbances as I fly. So it's not exactly fast going for me either.
Do your sensors detect any additional life forms surviving in the settlement, or is it just the inhabitants of the Argo?
As far as I can see right now, the Bajoran settlers, I think, with the initially what seems to have happened is the chronoton radiation was pointed directly at the interphasic generator that we installed for the Bajorans. So those two technologies have interacted. So sending massive chronotons into my interphasic generator has boosted its output. So now it's got the problem I'm facing is I'm flying towards an ever expanding dome of the interphasic generator. So the next problem is I could possibly be flying into a pocket universe. So I will, and until I pass through and stabilize it using the Wave Riders technology that I have on board and my understanding of the interphasic generator, I may end up in a 0.002, 004, or even worse variance. So we'll be sitting in a different location to the Cuchulain. We'll be in a different possible pocket universe, as long as it doesn't create a massive subspace tear and bring us completely into a parallel universe, which is always the problem with this particular type of technology. So they've mixed the base technology of the interphasic generator is chronotons. So with a massive input of chronotons, with unchecked power input, I don't know what the outcome is going to be. But my job now is just to head straight for the Argo and see if I can go and get the guys.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can. Anne, can you hear me?
Your signal's breaking up. Obviously, the pulse, the probe has dropped even further. We're losing you, Jono. Continue on this trajectory.
And can we boost the signal anywhere? No.
No, it's gone down past the point where we can contact the Wave Rider. The next contact will be with the surface team.
Argo. Okay.
Yeah. So, what do we need to do next?
So with that, the probe has passed through the kind of optimal location in the atmosphere as to where you can get surface to air, orbital to Wave Rider communications.
Right. So the next communication then legitimately should be with the ground surface away team.
Yeah.
If the probe makes it down to the surface.
So, and that's if the probe manages to, stick the landing.
Yeah.
Do we need to roll for that? John?
Say that again, Jer.
We need to roll for that. Are we okay?
No.
It'll be flying around transmitting and looking for a signal, and then we'll come back up to us.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody roll. Everybody roll their presence and security. Except you, Antoinette.
Oh, bro, Jesus.
Anne has successfully rolled the competition.
Sorry. I know.
Well done, Jerry.
Yay.
Well done, Jerry. Pat, what have you got? Zap, what have you got?
Pat's still.
No,
Pat's
he's
still
still
off,
there.
isn't
One success for Pat. No, nothing for Zap. Zap's just busy keeping the ship in from rolling out of orbit. Okay, so Pat, you got one success. Jerry, you got 2 successes. So Jerry, as you're wandering around the bridge, operating different panels, even though one of your panels at the back went on fire, you are
the repair team on it. Yeah.
One success.
yeah, the repair team's on it. You've got some junior officers. They're in there where they've opened up the panel. They're doing their best to kind of fan the flame or fan the smoke away and start the repairs instantly. So you noticed, Jer, that there's Anne has been so busy with the probe that there's an incoming hail from the small shuttlecraft that's zipping back towards the Cuchulain. And on board is Sharon O'Neill piloting her little heart out. But you'll also see that behind her are 3 other sensor signals right behind her.
Here it comes. Here comes Jano. Here it comes.
Yeah. Okay. And have a look at this panel here. Can you have a see what these 3 sensors are?
Hailing frequencies have to be answered.
Yeah. Well, hailing frequencies first. So.
Yeah, incoming message from the shuttle.
Put it through.
Okay, so Antoinette, if you let me see. I'm gonna have to type this out for Antoinette. If you go to Facebook, Antoinette, usually we kind of step out into the corridor and go, "Here's the secret information."
Passing notes across the table.
Yeah, passing notes across the table. You know the story. All right. So, anything else that you're doing on the bridge, guys?
Can I arm the phasers and photon torpedoes, maybe?
Yeah, and the shields back up, maybe.
Let's she's back up. Pat arm phasers. Yeah, ready photon torpedoes.
But before we do, we need to get a sensor suite.
Find out what it is. Get a sensor suite.
Yeah.
Okay, perform a sensor sweep. So, and then Pat, when you're done, raise shield or photon.
Okay.
Shield.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Anything out there, Anne?
Do I need to roll for a sensor sweep?
Jonah's still writing notes.
How far away is the shuttle? Should we be thinking about? Yeah, should we be thinking about trying to extend the shields around it if it's close?
No, just bring it in. Go and pick it up. Yeah.
So if you have your shields up, the shuttle cannot come on board.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Well, we can find out how close it is and who's following them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we need is a sensor sweep, I suppose, or to hone in the sensors, find out what's following her. Find out, actually, maybe even just talk to her. You know.
Yeah.
Comes back to that.
So you managed to establish communications with Sharon.
That plan is
Antoinette. So you don't have to roll for that. It's a Starfleet vessel to Starfleet vessel. There's another message there for you, Antoinette.
All right, Sharon.
All right, Sharon. We are so tomorrow. Yeah, all right, Sharon.
Is that the US Georgian version? Yeah.
Sharon's Cuchulain.
Cuchulain here. Go ahead. Go ahead, do Sharon, whatever.
Major Grace, I'm in a bit of trouble here. My engines are at breaking point. I've picked up 3 ships behind me of unknown Cardassian configuration. They haven't fired on me yet, but they are trying to lock on a tractor beam, so I need some assistance quickly.
Okay. So, Commander Lynch, what are we going to do?
Okay, Helm, set a course for the shuttle. Pat, phasers.
We
Shields
can't.
are up.
No, don't.
Weapons,
we can't-
yeah.
What? Okay, you're breaking up, lads.
Okay. You can't put the shields up because you can't actually beam her on board. We don't want to lose the shuttle. So we're literally going to get between her and the...
Yeah, set a course. I don't want shields up anyway. We can lower them when we get there. We don't know what's out there.
Okay.
Sorry, Sharon.
Can
you're
we
screwed
extend the
already.
shields around the shuttle?
Yes, you
while
are.
you're close?
Well,
I
if
do
we get
use
close enough,
distance.
Pat, I think we might try that. If they've got a tractor beam on her,
I have to
they're
get
trying to
close.
get a tractor beam.
first.
If
Whatever
they're
you're
trying
going to
to
do,
get a tractor
quickly,
beam on her.
because my engines are at breaking point.
What about, are we in transporter range?
Transport me over, so.
Are we in
How
transporter
far are
range?
we? How
That's
far are we
okay.
from the vessel, lad?
You'll
How
be
far-
she'll be in transporter range in 1 round's time. So she's like, her engines are screaming in. She's coming in at high warp, and she's about to drop out of warp from into the system. So all right. So there, Antoinette, roll for Sharon on small craft piloting.
Oh, I have to thingies for that.
It would be you can use control and con or daring and con.
I will use. Well, the same. Yeah. Two successes.
2 successes. Well done, Antoinette. So, Antoinette, you as the ship comes out of warp, the slow warp, because it's only a shuttle, so it won't have anything past, say, warp 4, maybe 5 if you're lucky. But you come into a normal space and engage full impulse, and you're hammering it home towards the Cuchulain. As you do, behind you, 3 small Cardassian patrol craft drop out of orbit drop out of warp 2 and start herring it towards you as well at the same speed.
Okay, we need to go move the ship.
We need to move the ship to get
No,
Get
she'll be
over.
within transporter range now.
Is she in transporter range?
Yeah, we'll say she's in transporter range. Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to beam her aboard, or do you want to try and tractor beam her in? So
No,
we
but
don't
keep her aboard to find out what's going on.
Right. Well, if you beam her aboard, you're going to lose the shuttle.
Yeah, I don't want to lose the shuttle. Can we tractor beam her in? Are we close enough for tractor beam? If we're close enough for transporters, we're close enough for tractor.
Can we extend our shields around the shuttle?
Yeah, I think we should move to get closer and extend the shields. I agree with Pat.
Okay, so as you're discussing this, one of the patrol craft starts accelerating beyond the shuttlecraft, and you have 2 more ships aiming for you. So one ship is chasing the shuttle, the other ship is chasing is heading towards you.
Now you're saying they're patrol ships.
Mm-hmm.
Are we actually in Cardassian space, or are they in our space?
This is unclaimed space.
Okay, so basically they have a right to be there.
And there's no the Cardassian war is just in a lull at the moment. There hasn't been any treaty signed. The demilitarized zone has not been created yet. So the Cardassian conflict is still considered active.
Okay, so they're basically pursuing a Federation vessel, so we need to protect the Federation vessel. So we need to move to intercept
Can I
that.
try fire on the one? What type of weapons do I have on my shuttlecraft?
Your shuttle has it wouldn't have much to go against a military patrol
Come
vessel.
and get me, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to go and get her. So
Yeah, it's good. Alright, so warp maximum warp, and then fold the shields over the shuttle. I want to put ready as well, Pat. And I want to.
If we go to warp, we'll leave her behind.
sorry, Zach, what did you say?
It'd be full impulse. If we go to warp, we'll leave her behind when we leave the system.
Well, full impulse. Yeah, full impulse,
Yeah.
Okay.
So, should we lock our weapons and then maybe hail the Cardassians?
No, not yet. Lock phases first. There's no need to hail them, Pat. We know their intentions. 2 are pursuing and 1 is pursuing the shuttle, and 2 are broken off to.
Yeah, but the thing is, if we engage them, you're
But
correct.
they haven't fired yet,
Jerry.
have they?
We haven't engaged them yet.
Jerry, you're great. You're right in that sense. We haven't engaged them yet, but if we do engage them, we run the risk of bringing them back to the planet. We haven't got the away team away yet, and this is disputed space, isn't it? This planet is disputed, I believe.
It's not disputed. It's open space. It's unclaimed, as it were.
Yeah, but why were the Bajorans hiding from the Cardassians on the settlement?
We don't know yet.
But they're the aggressors, and we're not. We're just protecting our.
I don't think we can run the risk of actually inflaming the situation anyway, because if Cardassians.
Okay, so as you were all having a chat and discussing it, one of the Cardassian patrol ships gets quite close to Antoinette and emits their tractor beam. So Antoinette, you need to roll your. Let me see here.
Yeah, we haven't even rolled to actually intercept them yet. Do we have to roll for that?
Well, you have to. Well, no, you can move towards them, all right. So Antoinette, you need to roll for evasive maneuvers. Again for a tractor beam.
Is that on the sheets?
Again, that's the aggressive act. These Cardassians are trying to lock a tractor beam on the shuttle.
So but they're not firing any energy weapons, Jer.
Is that the same as last time? Same roll?
Say that again?
Is that the same roll as last time, or is there?
No, hang on a second. There's evasive maneuvers is on the comms sheet and the helmet navigation. Evasive action: control and con with a difficulty of 1, assisted by the ship's structure and con until the flight controller's next task. All tasks against the all attacks against the ship and all attacks made by the ship increase their difficulty by 1 and a cost of power requirement of 1. Now you are in a shuttle. So shuttles. Let me find my starships. Starfleet as an engineer. No, give me shit. Mission. No, I had this jumping arrow first. Nope. Third works. Alien vessels.
Anyone know these patrol craft? What size are they? Are they as big as the Cuchulain? Are they smaller?
Well, you'd have to make a scan to do that.
Yeah, do a scan. It's the best thing I can think of. So if I roll for a scan, she rolls to do evasive maneuvers, and
so
understand.
So your shuttlecraft is It's got a power of 3, a scale of 1, a shield of 4, a resistance of 1. Okay. So, Antoinette, you would need to roll basic action. So you roll control and con, and then your structure and con for the shuttle is structure and con is 6.
6. I draw 6 for the ship and anchors.
6 for the ship.
Okay. Now I have a focus of escape and avoidance. Would that help me in this situation?
That would. It would reduce your difficulty by 1.
Lovely.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 successes.
Well done.
And then a D6 then, is
it? Yes.
Just
so
1
roll,
D6?
No, roll. No, it's. How many successes did you get?
2.
2. And what did the ship get?
No, I didn't roll the ship.
1d20 for 6.
For 6, yeah, sorry. I used to roll it for the ship. 6.
1 success. Oh, well done.
Well done.
Well done. You managed to make your evasive maneuvers and avoid the tractor beam. The tractor beam. You turn the shuttle on a steep G turn and managed to avoid the projection of the blue energy projection of the Cardassians' tractor beam. So very well done, very well piloted there for Antoinette. So that's one Cardassian vessel, and Antoinette had their go. What's the Cuchulain up to?
Did you get any momentum from those rolls?
Nope.
Yeah.
She had to beat me. So she did. So well done there.
We need to get it through.
Okay, can I have a scan?
I can rotate the ship so the shuttle bay is pointed directly at Antoinette, so she can come straight in.
Yeah.
Right. So you're so in this kind of aggressive maneuvering, in this posturing, Zap, you're orientating the aft of the ship towards Antoinette. Now she was aiming for the Cuchulain, but she's now had to just turn off course to avoid the tractor beam. So she's now flying in a different direction.
Can we put out a tractor beam, an aft tractor beam, and drag her into a position so she can fly in?
You could. You're going to be doing the same thing. It's going to be tough. You're going to then be fighting over who gets the shuttle between 3 ships versus 1. Okay. So Zap, you're going to have to roll to maneuver the ship so that Antoinette has a better trajectory for the ship. Now, do remember that if you're pointing the aft of the ship towards the oncoming vessels, you don't have any torpedoes. You've only got phasers. Not that you want to be firing because this again is the same situation. If you do fire, you may reignite the war that's been in a lull for a while.
Can
Let them shoot first.
Can I actually have we discovered? Are they any match for us anyway?
Well, you need to roll and scan. So
yeah. So can I roll and scan for
tactical scan would be needed for that.
What do I do?
So you need to roll tactical scan, Pat.
Do you want to roll for that, Pat?
Pat's gone, is he?
I have no idea what he's doing.
He's having a tough time with the with his communications today.
What roll for an or will I try rolling?
No, I'm quite capable of rolling myself if I knew what I was rolling. You know.
Element navigation, plot course chart, hazard, secure. Where's my sensors sheet? Has anybody else got the quick reference sheet? Oh, here they are. So, sensor sweep is reason and science.
Okay, reason and science 13.
What is Pat not rolling that? What's Pat doing?
I don't know. He's
reason 8, science 2. So mine is only 10.
That's what I said. Like reason.
Okay.
You not hear me?
Reason and science for me is 13.
Okay, so operations is rolling.
You were off a bit, Pat.
Are you doing it or am I doing it, Pat?
You hear me?
No.
You do it, Anne. You do it.
You do it.
You do it, Anne.
Okay.
That's only 10, I think.
I got one success.
One success.
Yay.
All right.
There wasn't a complication.
Hey,
Right.
no complications there. So, and what you see is a what seems to be a brand new class of Cardassian starship. You've never seen it before. It seems to be the technology equivalent seems to be the same as what would be the Cuchulain. It's because the Cuchulain is the latest on the Starfleet line. So, but the Cardassians haven't gone for science vessels like the Federation have, but they have gone for this. You don't know what it's called. You've never seen it before. It's not as big as a Galore class starship, but in relative terms of the game, it is a scale of 2. The Cuchulain is a scale of 3. So, in regards to scale of vessels, the the Cuchulain is a scale of 3. They're a scale of 2, but there's 3 of them, so that's a scale of 6. So they do outmatch the Cuchulain by a factor of 2. Okay.
So we've got 3 of them.
So, and will you just zoom out on your game board there so everybody at home can kind of see what we're doing? Yeah, that's it. And just click off somewhere so you get rid of your dice.
Okay, where are they? Yeah, no, they're not. They're not my dice.
You should be able to just clear them by clicking on somewhere on the board. Somewhere on the board. No, the board. No, click.
Click on the ship.
There we go.
Might
Sorry.
work.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Now, so for anybody at home, this is what they are. Most people at home would know what sort of Cardassian vessel that is. But in 2364, these ships haven't been seen very often, and they would be brand new. So if most fans out there would know what they are, but for this particular game, you don't know what they are. And you've never seen them before. You can only get your relative scans to say that they are a patrol class vessel. They're highly armored. They seem to have improved impulse engines, and they have phasers, and they unlike most Cardassian vessels, they have a spiral wave disruptor cannon mounted on the forward section. So they have they do have shields. The shields are not quite as strong as the Cuchulains. Sorry, their shields are the same as the Cuchulain, I think. Hang on. Shields. Where's her shields? Shields. Shields. Oh, yes. Their shields are not as strong as the Cuchulains, but their armaments are a good match.
Okay.
Right? Especially that spiral wave disruptor in the front. That's a pretty vicious weapon there up the front. Okay, so that's what's flying in to meet you.
Can we?
Jerry?
Yeah, sorry. Can we hail the Wave Rider again? See if the probe is there.
No, Jerry. If we communicate with the planet now, they're going to go after who's on the planet. So the best thing we can possibly do is act like a decoy. Let's get Sharon back onto the ship. Hopefully not destroy the shuttlecraft.
My plan is
let's make that we're leaving this area. Warp out and then warp back. We don't want them going near the planet.
No, we don't have to go anywhere. We just get her aboard and put our shields up and say, what do you want?
Yeah, I wouldn't be warping out anywhere. I wouldn't be going anywhere.
They're new ships, and I guarantee that they're itching to fight if they're new ships.
But if we listen, Anne, if we leave the planet, right? What's to stop them going and investigating anyway?
What are they going to investigate? There's nothing there. They can't see them.
How do we know? How do we know?
There's a big glowy blue thing on the planet.
Pardon?
There's a big glowy blue thing on the planet that's getting bigger.
How do we know they know there's nothing there? They just came for a little stroll and chase the shuttlecraft.
But we don't want to focusing on the planet, do we?
No, I think we raise shields and we stand for them and we ask them what the hell they're doing here.
Don't forget that a massive chronoton beam has just ejected itself from this planet all the way to Bajoran space, which is Cardassian controlled at the moment.
But if they were going to look at the planet as it is now, without us being there, right? If they were looking at the planet, what would they see?
Oh, they would see that a massive tumultuous atmosphere that is now highly charged particles, and there's a section of the planet where the kind of like blue energy is expanding exponentially from the epicenter that ejected the chronoton beam across space. So there's something starting to engulf the planet. So and it's visible from orbit.
We're going to investigate.
The Cardassians are not scientists. They're not interested in what's going on a planet
we don't know
uninhabited, are they?
They could be ships like us. They could be science.
No, they're patrol vessels. That's what John said.
No, we get the shuttlecraft on and we stand for them and we raise shields and we ask them, what the hell are you doing here? And we use the delaying tactic, and maybe Jono has got down and got the lads off the planet and is on his way back. And we see where we go from there.
Okay, I think it's a bit optimistic, but anyway, let's go for it.
We have shields and we have capabilities. If we need to run, we can run.
Still 3 against 1, and we're going to lose the ship. We can't go 3.
It isn't 3 against 1 because we haven't fired a weapon yet.
We haven't.
You're assuming they want to fight.
Positivity.
But if you're relying on my
guys,
I want to blow something up.
Don't forget, guys,
you'll get your chance.
Guys,
maybe
these
but you get your chance.
Guys, these are Cardassians. They're not Klingons and they're not Romulans. It's a different enemy. So
can they be
reasonable? Okay, so now what is the new plan?
Okay, the shuttlecraft on board number 1.
Okay, so you need to race towards the shuttle, which is on a different trajectory that because Antoinette did such an amazing role. She's got one ship on her tail with the other 2 following in hot pursuit. So one of them has accelerated seemingly with its advanced impulse engines. So it seems to be quite a speedy craft. And you guys are moving closer and closer. Okay, so
why there's Cardassian on my screen?
Say that again.
Why are the Cardassian ships still on the screen?
Because you're looking at them.
Because you're looking at Roll20. Not StreamYard. Why are they still on screen, Jerry? Because they're on the main view screen because that's where the main view screen is pointed. Yeah. All right. So
get ready for a swoop and scoop.
Swoop and scoop. Yeah.
Swoop and scoop. All right. So okay. So Zap, you need to roll. You need to roll for your maneuvers to come and pick the ship up. So this would be. It'll be in a. You could say it's about plotting a course to try and intercept the ship. So reason and con. One's 2 successes and a 1, so that's 3 successes.
Wow.
Okay, well done, Zap.
Yay.
Yeah, well done, man. So
we're coming for you, Sharon.
All right. So
I'm quite sure Sharon would say yay in that way.
all right. So
not on any given day.
So you race towards the shuttlecraft, and as you approach the shuttle, the other 2 starships arrive and block your path. All right. They block your path. And then, right, so what do you do next?
Open hailing frequencies is the only option we have left.
Yeah.
Shields
We
up
have
and
our
barrel
shield.
through.
No,
No.
that's
Open
the
hailing
next
frequencies.
option. That's the last option. No, Cardassians. Apart from the fact that they're Cardassians.
There's no racism in Anne's voice at all. No racism whatsoever.
They're not as polar as the Romulans, like, you know what I mean? They're not as, they can be reasoned with, hopefully. But they do have the superior strength.
Just FYI, my character has a chip on his shoulder.
Sorry? I can't.
Just FYI, my character has a chip on his shoulder about Cardassians.
So
okay, well, you need to get off the bridge, mate.
Cardassian. So you've so were you also at Mantaka? Was that
I think everybody was at Mantaka this day.
Yes.
What we do is we'll open hailing frequencies. We'll tell them that we're picking up our passenger. If they don't say, if we tell them politely, if they don't,
well, we can tell them we're a research vessel, which we are.
Yeah,
and just
be nice to them.
Yeah, and just say that we're investigating the anomaly, but not let on that Boimler's the cause of the anomaly.
No, don't tell them that.
Unless you sacrifice.
They might do it. They might take They might take Boimler back with them. That would work.
All right, so you open hailing frequencies.
Yeah.
All right, so you don't have to roll for that. All you have to do is get them to answer. And on the other side, you get a rugged-looking, pockmarked-faced Cardassian, who thin face with straight lined jaw. He's got a brown uniform on with foam-looking designs. And you can see in the back behind him a couple of other officers which have a strange-looking headdress that goes down over their spoon depression on the top and under their eyes, so denoting that they are junior officers. And he sits there and he glares down the screen, and it's almost like his camera is up his nose. And he looks down at you through the camera and the hollow screen, going, "This is Glyn Jastad of the Cardassian 7th Order. Explain yourselves."
You
tell him that we are a Starfleet vessel, a science vessel, that we've been investigating the anomaly, and we are trying to pick up one of our shuttles that was returning to us. Please explain, what are you doing here?
My ship detected this massive chronoton beam heading into Cardassian space and found that the origin was this location. And what do we find at this origin? Only a Federation vessel messing with things that they shouldn't be. What is the Federation up to so close to the Cardassian border? This can only be Federation meddling in things that they should not be.
This Federation vessel was on a task to assist a Bajoran settlement on this planet.
Bajoran settlement on this planet? The Federation have no right to any Bajoran citizens. Bajor and Bajoran citizens are under the remit of the Cardassian Empire. You must leave this area immediately, as we will attend to our own citizens. Bajoran people are citizens of the Cardassian Empire, so therefore, as a Cardassian vessel, we tell you to withdraw.
We will not withdraw until we get our shuttlecraft aboard, and then we will let the talking to the politicians. We do not recognize the fact that you, how would I say,
in the unclaimed space.
Yeah. Close transmission.
I would add before you open it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Options, guys. We need to get our shuttle on without estimating this.
Okay, I vote we never let Jerry open anything again.
Maybe revealing the fact that there were Bajorans on the surface wasn't the best idea
yes.
to a Cardassian.
Or like away team, like hello, bye, boy.
We said nothing about an away team. We just said about Bajorans.
The first words were.
You said you mentioned your shuttle that you wanted to get it, but you also said that you're attending to Bajoran settlers.
Yes, I said nothing about an away team.
They're not in Federation space. They're not on a Federation planet. They're on an unclaimed planet. Therefore, if
open season,
it's open season, they basically will want to reclaim their people. Because don't forget, Bajorans are considered people of the Cardassian Union.
Okay, but we as I said, we are just the Bajorans. No matter whether they're Bajorans or Cardassians, we're assisting them.
Right. In the meantime, are we any closer to Tanta now? Or Sharon?
No, there's two. Ninja Sod's vessels are blocking your the third vessel, which is currently chasing Antoinette. Antoinette, make another evasive maneuvers roll.
And come around them and come into us, yeah. And we'll keep stalling them with diplomacy till we get Antoinette on board and we'll see then.
What are we going to do?
Just let him blow all over window time while an Antoinette maneuvers the shuttle.
We use the tractor beams.
No. One success and a complication.
Oh, and don't forget, I have one less difficulty. I have my avoidance and what's it called?
So apparently Vanessa is falling around the floor laughing at that particular com traffic. Frank is on Pat's team, where his every solution is just shoot things. Federation. Frank should not be in the Federation. I think.
Yeah,
Frank.
Hey, listen. If I
how Frank made it to XO.
We can't shoot everything.
Federation. I think Frank needs to resign and join the Klingon fleet.
No, the Maquis. That's it.
Frank needs to go and join the Maquis so he can go and shoot Cardassians.
I have escape and avoidance, so it reduces the difficulty.
Frank should go there.
So Antoinette, so what you've done, you reduced the difficulty. But you still did roll a. I'll give you a momentum. So we're reducing the difficulty for getting the success. So you guys have 4 momentum. But you did roll a complication. So as the third Cardassian vessel attempts to capture the shuttlecraft, Antoinette, or Sharon, I should say, is making the greatest efforts to avoid being captured by the tractor beam. And in so doing, she manages to avoid the tractor beam of the Cardassian vessel. However, the tractor beam and her maneuvers have knocked her into the pull of the planet. So she's now heading she's heading and has entered the atmosphere of the planet. So Sharon's character is now on her way to the surface in one of the shuttlecrafts.
We'll miss you, Sharon. It was nice knowing you.
See you, Sharon.
Bye, Sharon.
Sharon.
Followed swiftly by one of the Cardassian patrol vessels. It nosedives towards the planet itself as well. So at this particular juncture, we've been going for 3 hours and 10 minutes. I think that's a good place to leave the situation in orbit. So we have...
Dun, 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 dun. Tune in for next week's episode.
To be continued.
Everyone loves weapons to maximum. Says Frank.
Everyone loves firing the weapons.
So I think there was a good argument there for keeping Federation protocols and the fact that the Federation don't fire first. It being a good plan since there were 3 heavily armed Cardassian patrol vessels facing off against a Federation science vessel. Make a note there, Zap, that Beta Shift have 4 momentum. Actually, no, forget that because it'll be a new session. Your momentum will be wiped out, so you don't get any. There's no need to remember that. But so the situation is now that our Federation ship, the USS Cuchulain, is being faced off against 2 Cardassian patrol vessels. A shuttlecraft has careened into the planet's atmosphere and is heading for the surface. And there's a Bajoran, Cardassian patrol vessel in pursuit.
Can we rewind and start again?
No, we don't have Q on board today.
Hey, we still haven't blown up the ship. It's all good.
Well, I mean, this is a good point. The Cuchulain is in one piece. This is an amazing fact. So no one destroyed the vessel this week. There's one console has been destroyed, so that's better than usual.
Yeah, but I mean, what's a console like? Yeah, and the immersion was left on.
No hair was burnt in the making of this episode.
Yeah, we just.
I suppose Sharon on her way to the planet, so.
I think Sharon might be a little bit singed by the time she gets to the surface. I think Sharon's entrance to the next episode, whenever the next episode with Alpha will be, is in an entrance of a burning ball of fire shooting down through the cloud layer as she aims herself towards wherever she's going to be going. Let's hope that she can keep the shuttle intact in one piece. Taking in mind that, like, you know, I'm struggling to keep the stabilizers operational on the Wave Rider.
Yeah, we're going to transport her out, and we're going to.
Can't. She's entered the atmosphere. Transporters are all out of the question now.
One way or another, she's going to the ground.
Sharon, you're welcome for a spectacular entrance to Alpha.
I think why are you use the tractor beam again? Use the tractor beam again. Yeah.
You can't when it's in the atmosphere, can't you?
So she's in the atmosphere. She's gone. You can't. New plan.
I say we just let loose the phasers on the chronotonic radiation and let it all go.
Oh yeah. Let's fire particle weapons, into a highly charged ionized atmosphere with chronoton radiation pulsating.
Hey, I want to toast my marshmallows.
Let's blow up the whole solar system. Yeah.
As we learned from Robbie's attempt to fire phasers and micro torpedoes at us, we ended up with so Robbie's attempt to put a feedback loop from the warp core through the deflector dish has now, created a highly charged chronoton beam that was so powerful it managed to leave this planet, travel across sectors, and head for the Nenorius belt in the Bajoran system.
You got to admire the man's work.
And now you want to do the opposite, do the same thing in the opposite direction. Let's fire.
They might mean
phasers into the atmosphere of an ionized atmosphere when your people when it's been engulfed by chronotons and your people are on the surface. Okay, sure, this sounds like a great plan. And there's also a shuttlecraft currently traversing through that ionized atmosphere. So yeah, that'll really go well. That'll really go down well for Sharon. I'm sure.
I told Sharon to buckle up. It was going to be a bumpy ride.
We do have one fallback position though. We can always launch that kind of.
Yes, seriously though, Sharon or Antoinette.
We just put Pat in his EV suit and fire him out the torpedo, and he can go and try and.
No, but seriously, Antoinette.
With a sealant gun, you can try and fire some sealant to try and grab the shuttlecraft with like hull sealant, and then pull it back. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm saying.
I hope it works.
Okay, what have we learned?
There you go. Like it's space lasso. There we go.
Space lasso. Yeah. Okay. Pat's going on the case of a space lasso.
We've learned that.
Okay. So what do we learn today?
And Antoinette, seriously, could you not be a team player and crash in a more helpful direction?
Crash in a more helpful direction. Yes, that would be.
It's not my fault. It's Sharon.
Antoinette's not to blame. Blame Sharon.
Well, Sharon's fault.
Yes, I don't know what we learned today.
Don't let Jerry get loose on an open comm line.
Oh God, yeah.
Don't shoot first and ask questions later. Don't shoot first and ask questions later. And don't give Boiler a gun again.
That's my.
I think Jerry managing to keep the rest of the crew from firing weapons was a good plan. Even though you might have given too much away in the comm traffic, it was a good plan not to fire first.
No, not really. They probably knew that anyway. More will be revealed. Look, the ship is not destroyed. The crew performed exemplary as always. Yeah.
So
you're gonna have to use the pack cannon tomorrow, Pat.
So, guys, what we'll do at the moment is we'll end it there, and if everybody can, hit the this is the usual YouTube announcement of hit the like and subscribe buttons. They're down here and over here and all sorts of stuff. Wherever they're somewhere, they're down in the put something in the comments way down below. Whatever you want to do. I do.
This is actually right.
I do watch the comments now and again, and there are some regular viewers on YouTube. I think the last episode got us up to about 40 views, so well done there, and well done to the previous crew for that. So there are people out there following us, which is fantastic, and we'd love to see you. And even if you're on YouTube watching us, you want to find out more about us, the best place to go, if you still use the service, is on to our Facebook page, which is Facebook/USS Cuchulain, I believe. It's simple as that. You can find us very easily. Star Trek USS Cuchulain, Irish Star Trek fan club, and that is the way to find us. We'd love to increase the old YouTube to jump onto an algorithm or something like that, so that we can get a few more followers. Because we're doing this streaming live for everybody's entertainment out there. So we love when people interact in the comments, as Vanessa is right now. So and Vanessa is advertising and Zoom chats that we have for members of the Cuchulain, which is fantastic. So in 2 weeks' time, I will converse with Alpha Shift and Beta Shift, who are on your screens right now, and we will find out who gets to play in the next episode. So down on the planet's surface, we have Alpha Shift, who are currently careening away in an Argo with one unconscious crew member, and they're avoiding sinkholes and collapsing lava tubes and plasma storms on the surface with an ever-expanding chronoton radiation, chronoton beam or dome that's following them. As we traverse into the atmosphere, Sharon O'Neill is currently has the nose of a shuttlecraft pointed straight for the surface and is becoming a superheated fireball aiming towards the away team. But she's also followed by a Cardassian patrol vessel. And also in the atmosphere, or just below the atmosphere, my character, Commander East, is flying a slightly unstable aero shuttle we call, which is part of our ship, the Wave Rider. So the Wave Rider is also down there. And then in orbit, the Cuchulain, with Beta Shift in charge, is now facing off against two Cardassian patrol vessels, commanded by, and this particular trio, because 3 is a crowd. This particular trio is commanded by Glyn Jassad of the Cardassian 7th Order. So, with all that being said, is there any final words there, Jerry?
2. Get him to get 2 more and 4, we'll call it even.
Antoinette, anything else you want to say?
That's all Sharon's fault. It has nothing to do with me.
It's all Sharon's fault. And anything last to say there?
See us all in the next installment of Do I Get My Marshmallows Toasted?
Andrew, Zap, anything to say?
I'm coining the swoop and scoop as the Zap maneuver.
The Zap
maneuver. To go with the pack cannon.
That would have worked well, because I planned to swoop up and scoop her and then for a way.
So you're going to try and do a handbrake turn, reverse the ship, and back it. So she just, whatever she's doing, flies into the ship.
Just get it round in front. She slides in like Star Trek 5.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the Italian Job? That's what's
emergency approach. Emergency plan B. Plan B, as in barricade. He can't be serious. Unfortunately, that maneuver is out of the question right now, as she's in the atmosphere. So you can't take the Cuchulain into the atmosphere. Right. And final words from Pat.
2 words. Space lasso.
Where's Frank when you need him? Yeah.
He's too busy charging all his phasers and weapons and stuff. So with that, congratulations, Beta Shift, on your first streamed episode. There was ups and downs, and there was lulls and stuff, but I think by the end of it, it really kind of ramped up again. And I hope to see everyone back for the next episode. Coming up in a couple of weeks will be episode 7 of Star Trek Cuchulain, and I hope to see you all then.
Beta Shift.
Beta Shift.
Beta Shift.